This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline dreams, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are rolling motor fire. Bill Nye Ballard, that's the creed written deep in our veins. We turn busted cars into legends and rust into fame. From late night garage grind to race day stadium roars, every scar on our knuckles unlocked 1,000 doors. We don't back down, we don't break, we don't fold. Every ride we build tells a story worth gold. This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline trains, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are rolling motor fire. Here's to the nights when the world said slow down, but the engine said no when we stood our ground. To the ones who grew up rich and when the rest took the easy way, we found our path in the piston noise and we'll ride it every day. Pedal to the metal, this is where we belong. Cars, trucks, monster trucks, loud and strong. Passion, pride, lug nuts, side by side. If you love what you drive, then ride, ride, ride. This is for the legends that started in dusty garages, for the kids who chase dreams through the scars and collages, for the racers who gave everything without fail, and the fans who stand proud when the engines wail. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, this ain't a phase. It's our passion, our culture, and we'll live it to the grave. Pedal to the metal, forever in our veins. So look out, we're only getting louder from here. Nothing built strong was ever built out of fear. The road is wide open and the fire won't slow, because this isn't a hobby, this is the only life we know. Pedal down, heads high. We're not done. Pedal down, heads high. Pedal down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pedal to the Metal, the podcast where horsepower meets heart. From the shine of collector cars to the roar of race cars and the thunder of monster trucks, we've got it all. So buckle up your seatbelt, turn on the gas, and grab your favorite brew, 'cause the ride starts now. And now, here's your host, Roller.
Hey, what's going on out there? What's going on? I got some very important news to talk about. Oh, hey, come on. Let's talk about it. How's your mother? Yeah, how's your mother? Come on, guys. Let's talk it down. Let's just bring it down a little bit. Let's just tune it down, okay? Come on now. Let's just tune it down. We got some stuff we have to get to, some very important stuff here. First of all, I got to turn this phone down so we don't compete with volumes. But anyway, guys, I posted all week that we're going to be going from the new groups page that we created, and we will, but I forgot there is a 60-day hiatus. I have enough followers, but there is a 60-day wait before I can do any live videos on that page. So I'll keep posting that to you guys and keep doing that, but right now we're going to continue to work off of this, and we'll just continue to be here. So that's just the way it is. But the new groups page is going to be better because people are going to be able to share that and different things like that. So on this page, they can't share it. Even though it does show it on my end. I had Boggin Racer help me, and it definitely cannot be done. But anyway, what we're going to do when we get the new show going, guys, is we're going to be hosting a Wednesday night deal, and this won't be every Wednesday night unless it just gets really big, but we're going to be hosting a Wednesday night AI music creator show, and it will be for somebody that's a creator of AI music like I am, and they want to get a platform to play their music on, and they want to be able to let their music be heard. So we're going to create that for them. It's kind of like the old format. Hello, Chuck. How are you tonight? It's kind of like that old format that I had at Castle Rock Radio. What they'll do is they'll call in, they'll send me 5 songs of their favorite songs, and this is going to be radio friendly, no vulgar language or explicit content or anything like that. And I'm gonna talk to them. I'm gonna ask them about their song, and then we're gonna play that song, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about the next song, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna talk to them about that. But anyway, there's not a platform out there that's really given these people a chance, and I can't keep up with the the demand for new music. I've tried. I've burnt through my reserve, and it's just hard. It's hard to keep bringing up new content, new songs, and stuff like that. So it's getting kind of repetitious. But for 60 days, we're not going to be able to do anything until we get onto that new page as far as having somebody on. Now, I say that, but we'll probably be able to do that, but that's only going to be on Wednesdays, and that's not going to be every Wednesday. We're still going to be motorsports driven. We're still going to be collector car, muscle car, monster truck, all the great stories that we have been bringing you. We're going to bring those still. But we're just opening up a page for these guys on a Wednesday to allow them to come in and let their music be heard, because there's some great talent out there, man. Don't get me wrong. There are some really, really good, talented people out there, and I want to help them out if I can, and this is the way I'm going to be able to do it, and I just want to be able to help out my fellow creators. So once again, it's going to be no vulgar language, no sexual content, none of that stuff, okay? But it's going to be good music, and we'll play all the genres we can. I mean, and it's going to be American music. I've been looking on Suno, and there are some creators from Japan and from India and different things like that, and I don't understand their music, and if I don't understand it and can't play it and hear it and understand it, then I'm sorry, we're not going to play it. It's not that we're being prejudiced or anything like that, but I don't know what it's saying. I don't know what it's leading to, I have no idea. So we are going to not play that kind of music. But hey, if somebody's got a rap song that they want to play, and it doesn't have any violence in it, and it's radio friendly, then I'll be more than happy to play it. I really will. And we'll do country, we'll do rock. So there's a lot of genres that we'll do, and I'll make that call when I talk to the person. I'll have them send me a couple of their songs. I'll listen to them. If I like them, then we'll play them. If I don't think it's good quality enough to play on the show, then I'm not going to play it. So there's going to be a contract involved. They're going to have to sign a contract with me and different things like that. And we're just going to make it professional like we want it to be. But we want to bring you guys a little bit variety of music, I guess you'd say, more variety than anything, than instead of just listening to everything that I've made. And I appreciate you guys coming in every night and when we were on the lives, and I appreciate you guys wanting to listen to the music and your comments about the music and different things like that. But man, I just I don't have enough content anymore. I used to have quite a bit, and I just don't have that content anymore. I just can't keep up with the demand. I mean, I would have to make, I'd have to make, number one, I'd have to cut them, and I'm going to also, the music before the show. Instead of playing it for an hour, I'm going to be doing that for maybe, I don't know, I might do it for 30 minutes. And then we'll get right into the show, because the fact is the direction I want to take the show, I want followers to be able to click on and say, okay, hey, this is what Roller's about. They're talking about motorsports, and I want that motorsports to start right away. I don't want to have them listen to an hour of music. So the only other way I can do that is if I learn how to edit. And then I do the show regularly with the music and everything for an hour, and then I edit the music out before I post it to YouTube and stuff like that, because these folks they're gonna want to see, they're gonna want to hear, not see, but they're gonna want to hear the show about the motorsports, about the driver, about the car. Excuse me, and that's just I've had quite a bit of feedback from some people that are very big professionals in the business, and they just said, "Hey, man, it's not always all about your music." And I said, "Well, I understand it's my show, but I do want to get the listenership up for the show, and I want to get those numbers way up in to the big numbers, and then that brings on all kinds of different things." So anyway, I have been in talks with Fourth Wall. It's not talks, it's arguments. They are very late on getting the product that I ordered over the Christmas show for some fans. I've ordered 4 different packages, and I should be getting some of them tomorrow. That's way too long for me. That is just way too long. And in so many words, without really going in and reading it, hey Carter, how are you? Good to see you. Without going in and reading it, they're basically saying it's not our fault. It's really kind of, I don't know if they were putting the blame on me, but it felt like that. And I have nothing to do. All I do is I put the orders in. And then they're involved in shipping, they're involved in everything, and they're blaming Christmas time and different things like that. Well, that's when your busy time is. So you should be ramped up. You should have plenty of merchandise to be able, and staffing to be able to handle the Christmas rush. And I'm sorry if you didn't. It's not my fault. And I think the shirts, like I keep telling you guys, I think the shirts are very reasonably priced for a t-shirt. I don't have a problem with that. The coffee mugs, I don't have a problem with that. Even the hot cold drink mugs that are big tall ones, they're reasonably priced compared to what I've bought my wife for Mother's Day and different things like that. They're very reasonably priced. The tennis shoes, I don't know. I guess I haven't priced a pair of the old school Converse in a long time, but I think when it ends up is it's the shipping and everything that really makes the price go up, and I'm not into that because I'm not making a bunch of money on this. I want to get my brand out there. I want you guys to get clothing. I want to be able to walk in down the street and see somebody with a Pedal to the Metal shirt on, or some, hello, Mr. Craftsman, how are you? And I'm glad you're on, my buddy, because I've been having some battles with Fourth Wall about clothing and stuff, and they're just kind of putting the blame on me and on the Christmas holiday and stuff, and we're talking about maybe jumping ship with them and going to somebody else that maybe can handle it. So anyway, in fact, Steve Craftsman's on here right now, and two of the gifts that I ordered over Christmas for Santa when Santa was in here doing the show are for his daughters. And I absolutely love these girls, and I want to be able to produce the gift that I told them that they would have, So anyway, I should be getting that stuff here sometime this week, I would think. And he says, they love their T-shirts, and that's great. I love the T-shirts and stuff that I got. I even like the hoodies and stuff. I mean, but it's just, it costs too much money. By the time you get done ordering a hoodie at the price they charge for the hoodie, and then when you put the shipping on top of it and everything, you're close to $70. Who wants to buy a $70 hoodie? I mean, I did because I wanted to see what it was like. I wanted to see what what the quality of the material is, and it's very, very good quality stuff. Don't get me wrong, very, very good quality stuff. I like the way they fit. I like everything about it. It's just that I do not like the prices, and I can give you a promo code where it'll go in there and it'll knock some money off of the shipping and stuff, and I try to help you there, but it doesn't really do a whole bunch for it, So anyway, to catch everybody up and get off my bandwagon about bashing Fourth Wall, okay? Because I'm not bashing them. I'm just very unhappy with them right now because I just don't like their customer service. I don't like them blaming me. I don't like them blaming Christmas and all the other stuff, okay? They need to take ownership of their business if they're going to be a business and double up production, buy parts, buy cups and saucers or whatever, and so that when your Christmas rush, when you have people ordering, you can get it to them before Christmas, okay? And it's just that easy. I mean, it's just that easy. It's not science, okay? I mean, I've never been in the clothing business except for what I'm doing now, and I know more about what I would have to do around the Christmas holiday just because of what the stores do, okay? But anyway, to get everybody up on schedule on the new page, we created this new page so that some of my bigger listeners that are helping me get more followers and stuff like that can share the show. And operating off of this page, excuse me, they can't, okay? So I created this new page, and that's where we will be doing most of the show from. But they're going to be able to share it, and that was the only reason why I did this other page, because this page, the way it's set up, it's non-shareable as far as what they're wanting to do. So anyway, I made this other page, but I have plenty of followers. I have way more than enough followers, but I don't have the 60 days that they make you wait. And why they make you wait 60 days, I have no idea. I had to wait 60 days for this page, and I did not think of that. But it's just, why would they? I mean, you're producing a show that people watch every week, and they're punishing. I feel that they're punishing me. We want you to be 60 days before we say you can do anything because we're Facebook, okay? Well, I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I just got out of Facebook jail, and that's the last thing I want to do is go back. But it's just not fair. It's not fair when you have a good quality, and I feel this is a good quality show. And I don't like the 60-day wait period. I have no idea why it's 60 days. Who thought of 60 days? Why would you have to wait 60 days? Why not? I mean, 30 days. 30 days is too much, but why not 30? I don't understand it. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and continue with business as usual on this page right here, and we'll be here every Wednesday. We'll be here every Sunday. Now, tonight I have my brother Bob on, and we're going to be talking about just life growing up in the Richards household, okay? You're going to hear stories about my dad's car lot. You're going to hear stories about my brother, the cars that he had, because when I was a kid, my brother had cool cars, man. I mean, he had a little Chevy Nova. There was a little box Nova. Man, it was just so cool. It was blue. It was just fast. It was just such a cool car, man. And my friends, they used to say, "Oh, that's a funny car, huh?" Yeah, that's a funny car. That's my brother's funny car, okay? And, I mean, I bragged about that car more than he ever knew because he was busy at that time of his life. He's older than me, and he was busy with his friends. They were driving, they were doing everything, and I was still on my bicycle and stuff like that. And man, it was just cool to have a big brother that had that kind of stuff, And then he worked for my dad, where my dad's car lot had a lot of the cool cars and stuff like that on it, and different things like that. We're going to talk about the 69 Z28 that he tried to get my dad to buy up here, but my dad was always one of those guys that were like, "No, you'll drive it. No, you won't do that." And my brother's like, "No, but I'm not going to ruin the story, so we're just going to stop there." Okay. Hello, Debbie. How you doing? Glad to see you on there, cuz. So anyway, we're going to be talking about our time with our father, and I was asked really by my cousin Debbie to see if my brother Bob would get on the show, and I called him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'll do it." At first, he was a little hesitant, but I said, "Hey, dude, we talk on the phone all the time, and that's all this is going to be. It's not scripted, it's not anything like that. So this is what we're going to do." But we're right, 60s and 70s, give or take. Yeah, but I mean, that was just, I didn't know anything else but Pueblo in the 60s and 70s. And it was just a good time for me growing up in that era right there. I'll promise you that. But anyway, we're going to continue to play the music and stuff like that for right now. But I will be opening up the Wednesday shows, not every Wednesday, but I will be opening up the Wednesday shows to other AI music creators. I had a show at Castle Rock Radio, and it was called Rollers Rock and Country. And I would have indie artists on, and we would talk about their music. They'd send me a CD, and we would play it, and we would talk about a song, and then we'd play another song and talk about that song. And it was really kind of a excuse me, I got something caught up here tonight. Anyway, one of the gentlemen that was helping me create this new page, he was like, "Dude, there's nobody doing that right now." He said, "There's nobody at all." And I said, "Well, I did this a long time ago at Castle Rock Radio, and that's the way I like to run my show." And it really makes an interesting show because you get to hear the story of how it was created, how that song was created, why they created it, and then you get to hear more of their other songs. So we will be opening it out. It's still going to be called Pedal to the Metal, but this will be done on Wednesdays, and it's usually when we have a slow time, people are busy during the week or something, and we can fill it in with some of these AI music creators and give them a platform to talk about their music and about themselves and things like that. Now, the music's going to be family friendly. It's going to be radio friendly. There's going to be no vulgarities, no nothing. I'm not going to play it. I just won't. I don't care who you are. If you have a show that doesn't meet the criteria that I have, then your show's not going to be played, and that's just all there. And you can badmouth me, you can do whatever you want, but I owe it to you guys, as my lug nuts, to make sure that I give you a family-friendly show. Okay? I mean, I might say a couple bad words every once in a while, but I ain't talking about some of the stuff that a lot of these rap songs have in them, or stuff like that. And hey, if you got a rap song that's a rap song and there's nothing in there about you know what, and then I'm gonna play your song, man. I want you on my show. But if you're one of these artists that use the F word every 5 seconds in the song, and I don't want to hear it, man. I hear it enough for me. And I'm between me and my brother tonight, I am a little bit worried because we both can sling F-bombs pretty good. And so we were talking about it during the week, and I was like, yeah, we're going to have to really watch what we say because I don't want to offend anybody. That's the last thing I want to do. So I'm just warning you, something might slip out. You never know, but it wouldn't be on purpose. I promise you that right now. So, well, we're going to do that. But right now, I've kind of filled you in on what's going on, and I filled you in on my gripes and my trials and tribulations and all the stuff that makes it a terrible world for me. Just a terrible world. And, let's play some music, man. Let's go back. We played Black Tie Soul. We played Colorado Country, but we really haven't played very many of the No, not Bob. I would imagine Steve, or Debbie. I would imagine that Bob would use. Oh, you mean my brother Bob? I thought you meant my truck Bob. Yeah, Bob can sling the F-bomb just as good as I. It's a Richard's trait. We are skilled in many ways of putting that word together with other words and coming up with words that don't mean anything, but you go, whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy talk. That's bad talk. You're going to get your mouth washed out with soap. So we don't want to do that. But anyway, what I was getting to is let's go back and play some cruising music, some car music. Let's just see here. Let's go to... we've done a lot of C10 stuff. There's that. Let's see here. Black and Red. Roxanne, the lady. If these back roads could talk. I played that. Like I said, this is the reason why I'm offering this to these AI creators, because I have played my songs. I have run out of my stash of songs, and everybody's heard about everything that I've played. So, we're going to just go ahead and try to find out. We played that. Gosh, darn it. Okay, let's just do this one. We haven't heard this one in a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Roller Gripe. This is the Roller Gripe episode. No, this is Pedal to the Metal, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back right here in a minute. This next song up is called Down on Route 66. And what this is, it's about a father and a son that weren't getting along, and they didn't talk for a couple of years. And the father called the son up and said, hey, we have to iron some things out. We're going to go on a road trip. And they went on a road trip, man. They took the car, and they went on Route 66. So we'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal.
We hadn't spoken much in a couple years, both too proud to face our fears. But one July morning he called my name, said, son, let's take a little ride, it's time to fix some things. Pulled the tarp off that old Bel Air, faded red and white chrome everywhere. Said she's been sitting since '89, but she's still got heart, kinda like mine. Down on Route 66, just me and him, chasing the sun, let the healing begin. From the Cadillac Ranch to the Blue Swallow sign, laughing about the past as the white lines unwind. bed again. We stayed at the Wigwam Motel that night. Stars burning bright in the desert light. He told me about the dreams he chased, the ones he lost, the ones that stayed. We rolled through Tucumcari and Santa Fe, two lost souls finding our way. Stop a pie at a roadside stand, he reached across and shook my hand down on Route 66. Just me and him, chasing the sun, let the healing begin. From the Cadillac Ranch to the Blue Swallow sign, laughing about the past as the white lines unwind. Somewhere between the dust and the wind, I found my dad again. Now the years roll by like highway miles, and I still see his crooked smile. That 56 sits in my garage, and I swear I hear his voice each time she starts. One day I'll take my own boy down that road, show him the stories the asphalt told. From the Wigwam lights to the Santa Monica sand, he'll know who I am, and I'll understand. 'Cause somewhere between the dust and the wind, a father and a son can start again, yeah. On old Route 66, we'll find each other again.
All right, that was down on old Route 66 right there. Story about a father and a son bringing back a relationship, man. And that's pretty cool. Anyway, once again, for you folks that just come in tonight, we are not working off of the new page as of yet. We are on a 60-day hiatus. That's 60. That's how many days I cannot do anything but post. And I can do some videos and stuff like that and post the videos, and I'll be doing that. So you can guarantee that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that I can do a podcast on there, and then we can get that done. So I might go to do some podcasts on there and different things like that. So anyway, let's see here. The next song up, this one here is about my grandfather's hamburger drive-in down in Pueblo, Colorado. His name was Harry Davis, and they called him Harry the Hat. And he had a place called the Joker Drive-In, and it was one of the places that all the kids back in the day hung out, because there was 3-2 beer, there was curb service, and I can remember going down there as a young person, and there were some pretty cool cars hanging around that place at the time, man. There definitely was. And so anyway, I can remember Joe Marino's, I think it was a 66 Chevelle, 396 car. Man, there were some really cool cars down there at the time. So anyway, this is called Harry the Hat. It's all about my grandpa and his drive-in called the Joker Drive-In. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal.
Crunching under wheels, the wooden boots with squeaky seals, Harry the Hat behind the grill, flipping patties with that magic skill. Root beer floats fizzing in the sun, 3-2 beers for the older ones, fries sizzling onions in the air, kids laughing, playing not a single care. Oh, Harry the Hat at the Joker, where the legends come gravel line, trays of burger shakes and fries. Harry the Hat, tipping his brim, wiping sweat, calling out to him. Watch that tray, he'd laugh and shout. We knew there was magic all about. Oh, Harry the Hat at the Joker, where the legends come alive. SOB sandwich is the thing we'd all survive. Hot rods revving, jukebox playing all night. With Harry the Hat at the Joker, everything was right. The smell of grill and neon lights, Saturday nights in our blue jean whites, bumping songs from the 45s. Every summer evening felt alive. Harry the Hat with a twinkle in his eye told stories of the cars rolling by. Every kid, every friend, every line made the Joker feel like frozen time. Sunglasses tipped, hair in the breeze, kids on roller skates, feeling free. Trays of chili dogs and chocolate shakes, laughs echoing over gravel bricks. Harry the Hat calling orders loud, every kid in the lot feeling proud. Through every burger, every soda, every friend, Harry the Hat made the story never end. Yes, Harry the Hat at the Joker, where the legends come alive. SOB sandwich is the thing we'd all survive. Hot rods revving, jukebox playing all night. With Harry the Hat at the Joker, everything was right.
There were some fun times at that restaurant, boy. I'll tell you, I wish I was just a little bit older so I could have worked there, because as a kid growing up, man, it was the coolest place. It was just the coolest place. I mean, and I thought that it was my place. I thought I owned the place. It was right in the middle of a gravel lot, and my grandfather lived in a house in behind the restaurant, and man, it was the place to go hang out. It was just a lot of fun. It really was. They had a big old huge where they made homemade root beer. They had this big barrel, and you could get root beer there. They had 3-2 beer. They had a sandwich called the SOB, and that's a sausage on a bun. And then they had HOB, which is a hamburger on a bun. And then my mother come up with a sandwich called The Thing. And really, all it was a grilled cheese with a hamburger patty on it. And it was served on toast, Texas toast. And but it was a big seller. I mean, it was a big seller. But the biggest selling thing that he had there was the barbecue sauce. People would come by and buy quarts of his barbecue sauce. And one of the big companies, and I really don't remember what, if it was Heinz or what, they wanted to buy his recipe, and he would not sell it. He was just not going to sell it. And it was, people came from, I mean, I can remember this as a young person, people coming in and buying 3 or 4 quarts of his barbecue sauce. He was always making barbecue sauce. And I know one of the secrets that he put in it, and I don't know any of the others, but one of them was a powdered smoke that he would put in the barbecue sauce. And man, he put it on the sandwiches, and it was really, really good. Now in the song, they say they had chili dogs, but my mom said they didn't. She said they never did have a chili dog there, and I thought they did. That's why I put it in the song. But anyway, hey, you can't remember everything. So let's see here. What we're going to do next? Let's go cruising in California on California Nights. This is Cruising California Nights right here on Pedal to the Metal.
Got my 57 Chevy, polished up bright, headed down Whittier Boulevard tonight. Chrome shining, radio playing real loud. We're rolling through the valley, drawing a crowd. Van Nuys Boulevard, the tires start to squeal. Gas pedal down, you can smell that steel. Bob's big boys jumping, burgers on the grill. The jukebox is rocking to that West Coast thrill. We're cruising California nights under them red and yellow lights. Hot rods, T-birds, and old GTOs running wild where the cool wind blows. From Hollywood down to old Modesto Street, living that dream on full chrome feet. Pull up at Mills, grab a Coke and a smile. Harvey's Broilers packed 4 miles. Low riders gliding, candy paint so sweet. Hitting them switches, riding low in the heat. Got Mustangs, Roadrunners, and a Cuda too. Camaro with flames, yeah, the baby's new. We race down PCH just to feel alive. Engine humming, California drive. We're cruising California nights under them red and yellow lights. Hot rods, T-birds, and old GTOs running wild where the cool wind blows. From Hollywood down to old Modesto Street, we're living that dream on full chrome feet. Now the clock's past midnight, the engines fade, but the memories linger in the songs we made. Every burnout, every neon sign still echoes through that golden time. We're cruising California nights, shining chrome in the pale moonlight. From San Jose down to LA town, we keep those old wheels spinning round. Yeah, the spirit's alive, it'll never die. We're cruising California nights. Hey. We're cruising California nights. Hey.
I always think it would have been fun to grow up in that era, even like American Graffiti era or something like that. But especially in California, it was always nice. And when they talk about the PCH, that's the Pacific Coast Highway, man, just the era of all the Bob's Big Boy and all those places that they named in the song and stuff. I can remember when I was making that song, I went in and did some searches, and man, some of the places were pretty cool, I bet, just to hang out with and stuff. But I got some friends, and they belong to really their family. Okay, they're not friends, they're family, and they belong to the Parker boys, the cruisers over there in Parker. I mean, not in Parker, but the Castle Rock Poor Boys. And they go to the In-N-Out, okay? And it's on Saturday nights. And I've never been, and shame on me for not going because it's not really that far away, okay? It really isn't. But they say that the sunsets and the In-N-Out Burger restaurant and different things like that are just totally amazing. Because if you're not from Colorado and you go through Castle Rock is nestled in this like little valley kind of deal, and it's just really a cool little town. It really is. I mean, it's a really cool town. And the In-N-Out Burger is kind of up on a hill, and off to the west is, of course, the mountains, and they're the great backdrop. And then you got all the neon lights of the In-N-Out Burger and all the other restaurants and stuff like that. And then you have all these cars parked around and stuff. And I understand that watching the show about your next guest. Let's see here. What, you interrupted me watching the show on your post about your next guest. Oh, sorry, Amber. I'm sorry. But anyway, no, we met. Amber, I think our first time we met was in Paul's hometown at that fair, that show that he did there. I think that's where it was. But I think it was one of the fair shows that he did, maybe Valparaiso or something like that. But I think that's where it was in Valparaiso. That was the first time I met you, anyway. But anyway, these people are family, and I love this family to death. And they have a cool 55. To call it Cherry Bomb. It's a 4-door, okay, but it's just so unique. It has like suicide doors, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful car. But my buddy Steve, he's building a Corvette, and it's one of the old body style, the old solid axle body styles, and I think it's a 61 if I'm not mistaken. And he's on here tonight, so maybe he can correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, I mean, this car's gonna be badass. Okay, ooh, I said a bad cuss word. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I mean, this car's gonna be bad. This car, when it's done, it's gonna be bad. And I can't wait to see it. But anyway, these folks that are mentioned in this song here, these are some people that I really, really care about. I really do, and I enjoy going to car shows and seeing them and hanging out with them. So this is called In-N-Out Summer Nights right here on Pedal to the Metal.
Oh, chrome wheels shining in the parking lot. Radio's playing and it's running hot. Neon's glowing, fries in the air. Every cool ride in the county's there. Summer nights, in and out with the engines rumble and the kids all shout with a burger and shake and the stars up high. We're cruising together neath the Colorado sky. There's JT and Angie and the girls tonight. Cruising in Cherry Bombing, it's sure shining bright. Tony 69 Yanko with the hood popped up wide. The big block shine like a diamond tonight. Mustang Sally takes a midnight ride. Laughter's rolling like the ocean tide. My oh my, there's Bob and Roller tonight. These are the moments money can't buy. Oh, the headlights gleam, the stories grow. Every car's got a tale to show. Oh, one more lap, let the good times roll as it's rock and roll for the heart and soul. Summer nights in and out with the engines rumble and the kids all shout with a burger and shake and the stars up high. We're cruising together neath the Colorado sky. All shout with a burger and shake and the stars up high. We're cruising together neath the Colorado sky. So fire it up, let the good times last. These summer nights are going too fast. In and out memories shining bright. We'll be cruising forever on a summer night. So fire up that ride and call the gang and let's go. Let's go for a cruise. In and out tonight.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
Oh, hold on. We don't want to hear that right now. We're really busy here, okay? We're really busy. That's all there is to it. For you folks that just come on, I know that I've been promoting the new page. Well, I've got enough followers, but I still have 60 days before I can do anything. That's per Facebook rules. You know, you just got to love Facebook rules. They just rule you to death. Anyway, so there won't be anything on the new page until 60 days. And just to make a short story, because I know some of you have already heard it, but we're going to start opening up on Wednesdays, not every Wednesday, but we're going to start opening up on Wednesdays to AI music creators like myself, and we're going to be able to play their songs, talk to them about their time in the music business, why they created those songs, play some more songs of theirs, and we're just going to give the AI creators a platform, kind of like I did with my show in Castle Rock Radio, give them a platform to have their music played and different things like that. So I worked really hard the other day with Boggin Racer, and we set up this new page and got it all going, and I was so proud. And I just forgot that there's a 60-day hiatus before you get to do anything on a new page in Facebook. So I don't know what happened to 30 days. What happened to, hey man, we're going to listen to a couple shows and see if you're legit, and then we're going to give you a chance, you know. But no, we got to go 60 days. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Or maybe, hey dude, you know, like, man, you know, like, we got to do like 60 days on you, brah, you know. So I don't know. Anyway, one of my good buddies, Texas Rich, C10 America, called me one night, and I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm at Walmart. I said, Friday night at Walmart? He goes, yeah, I'm over here shopping and doing some stuff. And I thought, wow, Friday night at Walmart, that would be a good song. So here it is. It's kind of goofy, but it's a fun song. Friday night at Walmart.
I'll just stop by for bread and ham, maybe grab some motor oil. But Lord, the show that's going on could make a preacher spoil. There's a fella wearing diapers thinking he's a baby boy, and a lady with pink hair and purple streaks. Now that's some Walmart joy. It's a Friday night at Walmart. Y'all, the greatest show on earth, where the wild and free come out to shop for everything they're worth. You can't find this kind of fun down at your local bar. So grab a boogie, take a lap. It's a Friday night at Walmart. Now bless her heart, that outfit there's the size of a teabag tag. And I swear that G-string's big enough to raise a checkered flag. There's a fella in a hoodie, got that wild-eyed stare. I said, good Lord, I think that's Ted Kaczynski over there. It's a Friday night at Walmart. Y'all, the circus never ends. From folks buying donuts by the case to chocolate milk again. 4 gallons in the buggy, 20 ding-dongs in the car. I tell you, midnight snacking strong. It's a Friday night at Walmart. There's a naked toddler running through the store. Mama's laughing like she's seen it before. The greeter just waves and shakes his head, says you won't see this on a Friday night at Target, my friend. It's a Friday night at Walmart. Y'all, America's craziest bazaar, where the price is low and the stories go as far as they are bizarre. So if you're feeling down and need a laugh from the heart, take a stroll through aisle 9. It's a Friday night at Walmart. Well, folks, we'll see y'all next weekend. We hope you're coming back to the greatest show the world has seen. And Lord have mercy, that's the biggest crack I've ever seen.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Friday night at Walmart. You can go to Walmart and you can see some stuff, man. I'm telling you, I love to people watch. I mean, I am one that will sit at a mall and let the wife just go shop. And I'll sit in the food court or something and I get entertained. Because some of the dresses and some of the outfits that people wear, whoo-wee! All their mirrors are broke in their house. I promise you that for sure. For sure. But anyway, that's just a crazy song that I made, and I'm sorry if you didn't like it, okay? But don't take it serious. Just have a little fun in your life. That's what it's all about. All right, this next song up here is about an old man that bought a brand new C10. This young man living next door to him. They didn't really have a lot of money. And, man, this young man just loved this old C10. And I'll just let this song tell you the rest. Right here, Old Man Next Door is the name of the song.
I remember growing up, we never had much. Old hand-me-down clothes and worn-out trucks. One summer day, I heard that engine roar. The old man next door rolled up in something more. A brand new Chevy, shiny and clean. At C10 was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. He said, "Hey kid, wanna take a ride?" I jumped right in, never felt so alive. That old C10 with the sunlight on the chrome took me places I'd never known. From a boy with dreams to a man with scars, that Chevy's carried more than hearts. Now when I turn that key again, I feel the spirit of my old friend. And I thank the Lord now and then for my neighbor's new C10. He and my family were the best of friends. I watched that truck through the years and bends. Then one day the driveway stayed still, no sound of that Chevy C10. A man came knocking, hat in his hand, said he was settling the old man's estate. He sat with Dad at our kitchen table, says he left you something if you're able. That old C10 with the sunlight on the chrome took us places close to home. Me and Dad in the garage at night, turning wrenches under the light. Every bolt and every bend feels like working with my old friend. And I thank the Lord now and then for my neighbor's new C10. One day Dad tossed me the keys, say son, she's yours, make memories. Now when I drive beneath the moon, I swear I hear that old man's tune. He whispers softly, keep her clean and keep her renting like she's 17. That old C10 with the sunlight on the chrome still feels like a piece of home. Every mile, every turn, there's a legion left to learn. And when I feel that engine spin, I know he's riding there with him. Me and that truck and the wind, my neighbor's old Key-10.
Well, there you go. My neighbor's old C10. Amber, if you're still on, I get a report here in the show, and your show was the most watched since Brent Arnold's show, and I think it's going to surpass it. So congratulations. Let's give Amber Skywalker a big pedal to the metal. Congratulations. Yes. That means that we're going to have her back on again someday, say. Miss Bigfoot, raking up the ratings, making them climb. We're sure proud of her. We're glad she was on our show, for sure. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking the time. It was a good show, and I did enjoy it very, very much. All right, let's see here. It's 6:45 p.m. Let's see here. Let's just hear, how about a little Appalachian Gold? All right, you're going to listen to Appalachian Gold right here on Pedal to the Metal. We'll be back here in un momento.
Had an empty trailer rolling down the Blue Ridge Parkway. Took her out on Route 321, just another working day. Then I saw her sitting quiet on a hillside all alone. A 68 C10 shining through that weathered tone. Yeah, I found Appalachian gold, rust and chrome and a story untold. She ain't fancy, but she's pure soul. That old truck made this young heart whole. Now every time that engine rolls, I thank the hills for my Appalachian gold. I stopped by and asked the owner if she'd ever leave that land. He said, son, there's been many before you, but their offer wasn't worthy of my hand. So make me an offer I can't turn down, and you can take that Appalachian gold. So I studied real hard on what offer I should make. Didn't want to offend him, this was no give or take. So I come up with a plan, went and asked that man once more. He stuck out his hand and said, that C10 truck is yours. Took one look inside her, and my jaw near hit the floor. Bucket seats and a console, the inserts houndstooth gold. That small block 350 purred just like it should, and I knew right then I'd found something good. Back home I cleaned her car, changed the wires and plugs. New tires, fresh shine, just a little elbow love. The wood in the bed looked new as can be. That old C10 was meant for me. Yeah, I found Appalachian gold, worth more than money, can't be sold. She's a story, she's a soul, she's a piece of the road. And every mile she rides, my pride just grows. Yeah, I struck it rich in the hills, you know, when I found my Appalachian gold. Just a man and his truck rolling slow down the road with his Appalachian gold.
You know, Debbie, I kind of have to agree with you. Both of those stories were definitely good stories. the Bounty Hunter, and the Porty Potty. So, but I think you could probably say that both of them were number ones because those were some pretty funny stories that she told that night. I think it was the interaction of everybody in the group that was doing it and getting along, and all the stories that were making the show such a big success is why the numbers have started climbing up really, really good. So we got here, let's see, it's 8:49 or 6:49 right now. We got time to do a song here before we go into the regular show. And basically, when you're our monster truck announcer, you are like the ringmaster out of a circus. You have to keep the show going. You have to, if there's a wreck and a truck flips over, it's up to you to get car parts out of the crush pile or T-shirts and throw them up in the audience. And you just have to keep the enthusiasm going. And as an announcer, I don't know how many times in my life that I had to do that. I mean, and it's always great to have a circus clown, motorsports clown like Bobby Paul or Bobby Cox or somebody like that can come out and really help you keep the show going, and it's just very, very important. So anyway, this next song is called The Monster Truck Ringmaster, and it's basically made after the life of a monster truck announcer. So we'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal.
Thursday night flights, wheels up in the sky. Touchdown in a city where the engines will cry. Hotel lights flicker, but I ain't here to rest. I'm the monster trucking master, and I bring my best. Coffee at dawn, cameras in my face. Friday morning radio, another town, another race. Voice on the airwaves, hype in my tone. Fueling the fire till the crowd's in the zone. I'm the monster truck ringmaster, hear the engines roar. Kicking up dust, they're begging for more. From the spotlight to the diner, then the airport gate. I live for the show, can't stop, won't wait. Late night dinners when the lights go down. Stories with the crew, another restless town. 4 hours of sleep, then I'm back on track. With the first flight out, no time to look back. Friday morning TV, tell the world it's showtime. Crowds pack the stands, engines screaming, prime through the smoke and thunder. I raise my hand, I'm the monster truck ringmaster. Welcome to the promised land. I'm the monster truck ringmaster, hear the engines roar. Kicking up dust, they're begging for more. From the spotlight to the diner, then the airport gate. I live for the show, can't stop, won't wait. Every flight, every mile, every sleepless night, it's the price that I pay to keep the fire bright. I don't just call the action, I become the sound. When the trucks hit the dirt, I own that ground.
across this land.
And there you go, Monster Truck Ringmaster. Well, guys, before we get started with the show, I want to do a couple of quick little informational spots here for you guys. And for you guys out there that are ladies out there that have a cool car, maybe cool UTV or motorcycle or something like that, and you take it to shows and you show it off, and you're looking for something to really help that display out. My buddy Texas Rich, he makes a metal print and a metal show board that will take your display to the next level. My C10 truck, Bob, nothing fancy about that truck in any way, shape, or form. Just an old patinaed out C10 with standard oil stickers on the doors and stuff like that. But you know what? It's my truck, and I'm just as proud of that truck as I would be any kind of hot rod or anything like that, because of the history of the truck. I mean, what it was meant to be. So I really, really enjoy it. But people used to just walk by and they just look at it and just keep walking, you know. But now that I put one of these metal show boards up, and this is from the magazine. I was in C10 America magazine with my truck, and so if you're in the magazine, you can get one like this. But he makes metal show boards, metal prints. The metal prints come 11 by 14, 16 by 20, or 20 by 30. If you're looking for a show board, you can only get those in 20 by 30. But he can take, and you don't have to have a C10 for him to do this. He'll do this for your cars, your trucks, your motorcycles, or whatever. You can call him and get the pricing. I'll give you his email address, and you can talk to him. As always, I ask that you guys please have a piece of paper and a pencil handy, so because we give you some information throughout the show, and we want you guys to be able to, if you're looking for this kind of a display for your car or your truck or your motorcycle or whatever, that you can get it handled with him. So anyway, this here is a highly durable metal print, and the show boards are the same way, and they're very, very colorful. They have good bright pictures of your vehicle on there. They might even have a short story with it or something like that. But I highly suggest, if you're looking for something, that you get one of these metal prints, okay? You don't have to get the big show board. I'm going to get the show board one of these days, but I have this one here right now. But I tell you what, it's just, it really, people stop, they read it, they look at it, and then they walk around the truck, because after reading this, they know the story of Bob, my truck, and why I made it a tribute to my father and different things like that. So anyway, if you're looking for that, you can get a hold of Texas Rich at C10AmericaMagazine.com. That's Texas Rich at C10AmericaMagazine.com, and he can give you the breakdown on the pricing and everything like that. And man, it doesn't take him, but I think you could probably have it within 2 or 3 weeks for sure. By the time you take the pictures that he needs, send them to him, of course, email him, and then he builds it, then he ships it off and has the show board made or the metal print, and then he brings it back to his house. He checks it all over to make sure it's not tore up or dented up or anything, because he's found some that the edges have been bent and stuff, and he calls the company up and says, hey, this is not going to cut it, man. These people are paying good money for this stuff, and I need you to fix it. I need another one. So he sends the bent one back, and he'll call you and tell you, hey, we had some damage on yours, and we had to send it back. So he works with you very well, keeps you informed on what things are going on, and he takes pride in making these metal prints and metal show boards. So make sure you get a hold of him. Once again, that's Texas Rich at C10AmericaMagazine.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Pedal to the Metal. We're going to go ahead and pay some bills right fast. We'll be back here in just a minute with the start of our show. Hey, Lugnuts, take a look at our new partner, 6ix9ine Graphics and Design. a small design and marketing company big on personalized service. They work close with you to get your business noticed with graphics that stand out and get attention. 6ix9ine Design focuses on stickers, decals, and graphics for your hot rods, custom projects, or business marketing. 6ix9ine Design also includes logo design, brochures, signs, business cards, banners, custom apparel, vehicle graphics, and much more. Remember, that's 6 and the number 9 graphics and design. Or go to 6ix9design.com or find them on Instagram at 6ix9ine Design. Hey, lug nuts, need pick me up to start your day? Then it's time to go to Rise and Grind. At Rise and Grind Coffee in Parker, Colorado, you'll find everything from bold espressos to creamy lattes to refreshing chai teas and smoothies. Whether you love it regular or decaf, we've got the perfect cup waiting for you. Hungry? Grab a hot breakfast burrito and a fresh muffin to go with your drink. And don't forget to check in on our merchandise. Perfect gift for any coffee lover. Planning on an event? Rise and Grind brings coffee to you with our family-equipped portable coffee trailer. Perfect for weddings, meetings, celebrations of any kind. Stop by 475 Singing Hills Road in Parker or give us a call at 480-212-3787. That's 480-212-3787. Rise and Grind Coffee, fueling your day one cup at a time.
This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline dreams. For the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes. For the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews. For the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart. Yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are rolling motor fire. Bill Nye Ballard, that's a creed written deep in our veins. We turn busted cars into legends and rust into fame. From late night garage grind to race day stadium roars. Every scar on our knuckles unlocked 1,000 doors. We don't back down, we don't break, we don't fold. Every ride we build tells a story worth gold. This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline trains. Gasoline trains. For the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes. For the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews. For the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart. Yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are rolling motor fire. Here's to the nights when the world said slow down, but the engine said no when we stood our ground. To the ones who grew up rich and when the rest took the easy way, we found our path in the piston noise and we'll ride it every day. Pedal to the metal, this is where we belong. Cars, trucks, monster trucks, loud and strong. Passion, pride, lug nuts, side by side. If you love what you drive, then ride, ride, ride. This is for the legends that started in dusty garages. For the kids who chase dreams through the scars and collages. For the racers who gave everything without fail. And the fans who stand proud when the engines wail. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, this ain't a phase. It's our passion, our culture, and we'll live it to the grave. Pedal to the metal, forever in our veins. So look out, we're only getting louder from
the Metal, the podcast where horsepower meets heart. From the shine of collector cars to the roar of race cars and the thunder of monster trucks, we've got it all. So buckle up your seatbelt, turn on the gas, and grab your favorite brew, 'cause the ride starts now. And now, here's your host, Roller.
Part two, second half of the show. Come on, give me some love, baby, give me some love. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Come on now, come on, talk to Roller, man. Yeah, there we go. Roll. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. Welcome to the second half of Pedal to the Metal. Come on now, give me one more. Let me just hear a little bit more. Sure makes a guy feel good. You know what I mean? Sure makes a guy feel good. Thank you guys. Thank you. Let's go ahead and just bring her down just a little bit. Yeah. Come on, bring her down. All right. That's what it's all about, man. Just the love. Just the love, baby. Just the love. Hey, welcome, guys. Welcome to Pedal to Metal Part 2. For you guys that just joined us, I appreciate you guys showing up tonight. We are not going to be able to have our show on our new page because we have to wait 60 days. 60 days to wait. 60 days to wait. And that's just the way it is, man. That's Facebook rules. So I got enough followers. Just don't have the 60 days under my belt, but I guess it'll go fast. But in the meantime, at least we have this page we can still go off of, and I'm going to just have to edit and chop and learn how to do all that stuff so I can post the second halves of the show on there. That's why we're doing the intro twice and stuff. So when I take the music portion off and put it away, then we have a good, clean spot for the new page. So we are going to do Wednesdays, and it will be a music show. Not all the time now. Don't everybody go, oh no. But it'll be a music show, and we're going to open it up to AI music creators like myself. And we're going to give them a platform to play their music on. So if you know somebody or you are an AI creator, music creator, tell them about the show. Let them know how to get a hold of me. As always, I ask that you guys keep a piece of paper and a pencil by the side of your chair there, and you can write down any of this information. So if they want to get a hold of me and be on the show, all they got to do is go to Jeff Richards 327 at gmail.com. That's Jeff Richards 327 at gmail.com, and tell me, hey man, I am a AI creator and I got some great songs. I'd love for you to hear them. I'll listen to the songs first to make sure they're radio friendly. There is no foul language or anything in them, because if there is, you don't get to play, okay? That's just the. But maybe you have another song that's a good song, and we play it. But we will not play anything that it's just not radio friendly, okay? Let's just put it that way. So we'll take care of that, and we'll get you on contract. We'll get you a show date, and then you can come in and you can talk about your music. We'll play the song you're talking about, then we'll come back and we'll talk about the next song, and we'll play that one for you, and it will give you your platform to get your music out there. And then we have a lot of people that's going to start helping us now on. Boggin Racer is one of them, and he's going to start, when we get to the new platform, he's going to start sharing to a lot of people. And this man is well connected. He's done it a lot. He's done in the business. He's been around, so he knows what he's doing. And we're going to go ahead and have a coughing attack, and we're going to listen to him. We're going to listen to him and see if we can't get the numbers boosted up for you guys' show. That's what it's all about. But tonight's show, man, we're going to have my brother Bob on tonight, and we're going to talk about the days of wine and roses. Now, we're going to talk about growing up underneath my dad and learning the business, learning the car business, learning how to fall in love with hot rods and stuff like that. Our dad was not. He liked cars, don't get me wrong. I mean, he really did. But he was not one to have a favorite car that he kept around. It was, if he did, he used it for a while and then sold it or whatever. His belief was that cars were meant to sell. Okay. Now, me and my brother, on the second hand, we decided we liked our cars and we wanted to hang on to them. So you're going to hear all kinds of stories. And one thing you're going to hear about is the scariest ride he took in one was in a 66 Corvette. And I'll just leave it right there for that one. So we'll call him here in just a minute. It's 7-11. We'll call him in 4 minutes and get him on the phone. And then we'll talk on the show and stuff. So if you'd like to order a CD, whether it be Black Tie Soul, Colorado Country, or Cruising the Classics, we will go ahead and put those on thumb drives or CDs, and those albums can be purchased right now. The CDs are $13, and that's with shipping and everything, and the thumb drives are $15, and that's with shipping and everything, and we can get you that, and we can send it to you. And I'm going to take some other songs that I have created here that haven't been on an album, and I'm going to create another one, maybe kind of a mixture, maybe not no specific genre or anything like that, and it'll just have some really cool songs on there. So if you would like to have one of the songs that we've played on that CD that we're going to be creating here soon, email me and tell me what you think it might be, and I'll mark it down on the list, and we'll try to get it on the next CD. We're going to put 12 songs on that one. So once again, that email address, jeffrichards327@gmail.com. That's jeffrichards327@gmail.com. So we'll take care of that. If you'd like to buy some clothing, well, you can still buy it there, because I don't think I'm banned. I think I still talk to them nice enough to where they're not going to not do business. But you go to fourthwall.com, that's FOURTH wall.com, and you too can get your pedal to the metal merchandise. That's t-shirts, that's hoodies, that's sweatshirts, that's drink mugs, hot drink mugs, coffee mugs, tennis shoes. What else do we have? We got mouse pads. We got a little bit of everything on there. So if you'd like to go to the site and check it out, you just go there and you order what you want, man. We got the t-shirts are really reasonably priced, guaranteed. They are worth the money, and every item is a good quality item. Don't get me wrong. I just think that the hoodies and the sweatshirts are too expensive by the time you put the shipping and stuff on there. And speaking of shipping, if you put in the promo code 1973, you can get yourself a little bit of that money knocked off. It'll help a little. Any little bit helps, right? Okay? And that's what I can do to help you. Other than that, I can't do anything. I even have to buy my own clothing. They don't give me any promos or anything like that. They give me that big straight arm. That's what they do. But anyway, look, I got the Garbizos from Las Vegas are on tonight, and they're listening to the show. So my buddy Ted, he grew up with me and my brother and stuff, so he knows my brother very well, and I'm sure he can tell some stories too about me and my brother. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and let me get the magic phone here all done here. 973, and we'll do that, and we will get this here. Come on now. Any of these phones, they're good, but when you want them to work the right way, they don't like to work. There we go. All right, here. Where is the food? What is the phone? Let's see here. We will get this figured out here in just a second. I promise. There it is. All right, and we go to the number pad, and we're going to dial that number right here. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and dial that number, and I hear that it's going to work. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies?
How you doing, bro?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Man, that's great. Thanks for being on the show. Cousin Debbie's in here, man. Give her a shout out.
Hey, Deb, how are you?
You know, we want to know one thing. Okay, she's mentioned this several times on the show. Have you had some of Cousin Debbie's peppermint schnapps?
I have, and it was wonderful.
You know, there's nothing better than going to a Richards reunion. We had a good one here this year, or last year, but there's nothing like going up in the Idaho areas and stuff like that, man. That was a large time, wasn't it?
That's for sure. I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of cousins in northern Idaho and other places like northwestern Montana, Washington, all around the Pacific Northwest.
Right, exactly. Cousin Debbie said, doing good, Bob. How about you? And then Rick Garbiso, remember the Garbisos? They just lived up the street from Rick. Rick said, what's up, Bob? So there's a lot of people on here that know you, man. So, you know, man, I really appreciate you taking the time and being on the show. I really do.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much. You know, I get a little emotional right now. Anyway, we had such a good time growing up in the businesses that our dad was in, man. And I just want to kind of start off because you were involved in the business before I was, because I was just this young little punk that, you know, just got to hang around at the Joker Drive-In, and that's about all I got to do. And then I did finally get to help out a little bit at the stations every once in a while. But let's start with working, I guess, at the standard station. Let's start back in the day when you first started. What was your first duties there at the station?
Well, if I recall correctly, Dad opened the standard station along with the used car lot and the towing service in 1965. And I had just graduated to working in the gas station after having a lawn mowing job. It was the only other job I ever had. But it was quite a step up for me. And of course, we had a lot of duties around there. Pumping gas was only one of them.
Right.
And
one
of the first things Dad taught me to do was how to make change and how to count change back to the customer. Which is it's kind of a lost art these days.
Boy, it is, isn't it? It really is. These kids, they just hand you your money in their palm and just look at you and there you go, thank you.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. But you know, back in the mid '60s, we carried a lot of customers on credit, so they'd come in and just sign for it. So that was something new to me as well. But we had to check the level of gas in the underground holding tanks every day. We do that at the start of the shift. And you'd make sure that if you need to order anything, you get that ordered so that it'd come in during the day. And Dad was real big on keeping everything spotless.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, we always cleaned the place up and made sure the restrooms were clean and clean towels. We used to have those towel dispensers that you pulled down to a clean place. Many people have probably never even heard of them these days.
Well, that's the truth.
But they had a big roll of clean towel in there, and you wipe your hands on them, and then when you got through, you pulled it down so there was a clean towel for the next person.
Right.
And we'd change those. And had a pop machine, had to keep that stocked up. And, of course, along with the gas station duties, we also had to take care of the cars. You know, if they were dirty, we'd wash them, start them up every morning, and lock them up every night. Back in the day, whenever we'd have a 4-speed car, Dad would make us bring it in at the end of the evening so we could lock it up inside so nobody'd steal the 4-speed out of it.
Right.
Which I don't think we had much stuff back then, but Dad was always cautious about that, I remember. But
that neighborhood wasn't a very good neighborhood, if I remember right.
Well, it was, it's probably worse now than it was back then.
Yeah,
But
guaranteed.
the Mesa Junction of Pueblo is, it's okay. There's a lot of good businesses down there, but the environment has certainly changed quite a bit. The gas station's still there, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Although it's the building, I should say, it's not a gas station anymore. But in fact, I don't even know if it's vacant or somebody's got a business in there.
Well, the last time I was down there, I checked, and there was a bakery or something that had a sign that said the future home, but I don't even know if that ever transpired. The only thing I can remember out of there after we got out of there is that the Fultons went in there, and they put their car lot in there for a lot of years.
Well, I think one of the Fulton boys, one of Ted's sons, still owns that property, along with a lot of other properties that Ted left him after he passed away.
Right, yeah.
But I haven't been there to see what's going on lately.
And I know that they did redo the place because it is on the National Historic Register of old buildings, right?
It is. It's a beautiful blonde brick Standard Oil building. Still has the Standard Oil logo on it, and it's in a neat location there, Broadway and Evans on the Mesa Junction.
131 Broadway. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Right across the street from the infamous here lately Davis Mortuary.
Yes, that's a fact. They have the guy running that who was also the the coroner from Pueblo. Him and his brother got in a little trouble down there.
Yeah, they did. They forgot to put people in the ground and stuff like that, man.
Yeah,
Just put Jim in the closet; it'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the bottom line is there, except that they were doing things they certainly should not have been doing, or not doing things they should have been doing.
Exactly. And as a little kid, I know you remembering, and we've had this conversation many a time, but there was a big, tall guy. He looked like Lurch from the Monsters. And I was so scared of that man. If I seen him walking across the street, I'd hightail it for wherever I could hide just to get away from him. And he worked there forever.
If you look up ghoul in the dictionary,
yes,
it's got his picture there.
Oh, I'm serious.
That guy was a ghoul, no doubt about it.
Oh, God,
He even hinted to me that he liked little boys, and I gave him a wide berth.
Yeah, that place was just always an eerie place, And Dad always promised me to take me across the street and go to the fire department and let me go down the pole, And so he takes me over there one day, and the fireman well, we can't do that. He can't slide down the pole. And I just had all these dreams of being able to do that, but that was a cool fire station, and it's still there, and it's a museum now, isn't it?
It is. It's not a functional fire station, but it is a museum. Another business that's still there, just next door to the gas station, is the Broadway Inn.
Oh, what a great place.
It is. It's really a pretty jumping bar to this day.
Uh-huh.
But I can remember back in the early days, back in the early and mid 60s, a guy owned it by the name of Ray Weintier.
Uh-huh.
And this guy, I never really knew him, but Dad told me that he offered to sell him the bar one time for it seemed like a lot of money at the time, but looking back, it probably wasn't. $20,000 or $30,000.
Oh, man.
But Dad passed because he figured that if he became a bar owner, he'd get divorced in short order. So
right.
He didn't do that. But this Ray Weintier had a little liquor store behind the bar, and it was so small you'd have to go outside to change your mind.
Yep.
But one day a guy walked in there with a knife to rob him, and this Ray Weintier says, "Oh, that's not how you rob somebody. Here, this is what you need to rob somebody with," and he pulled out a .38 and shot the guy.
Oh, man.
And the guy was just wounded, but he followed him out the door and down the alley. He kept shooting at him, but he wasn't hitting him. But this guy was a real cowboy, I guess.
Never. That guy probably never robbed another liquor store in his life.
No, I doubt it very seriously. And funny side note, I just became friends with Ray Wynetier's son
Oh, really?
on Facebook. Yeah.
Wow.
But,
And they don't own the Broadway at all anymore. Then.
Oh no! They sold it, and a guy by the name of Carl Covey ended up with it. It had changed hands a couple of times, and I think he still owns it, but I haven't been in there in years, so I couldn't verify that. But
And if I remember right, they had food in there too. That wasn't too bad.
oh yeah, they had good food. In fact, I think they still do, and they have live bands and stuff. So
Oh, wow.
it's kind of a neat little neighborhood bar.
Huh.
There was a lot of characters in that neighborhood, weren't
Oh,
there?
there was, man. Remember Jersey Joe up the street at the Skelly station? We used to go up there and get the stickers on the window for the car, the inspection stickers on the cars and stuff.
Joe Trujillo.
Joe Trujillo.
He was.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this, but he was a survivor. He was a World War II veteran and a survivor of the Bataan Death March.
Yeah, I remember that. And he used to tell me the
He was
stories.
a great guy, and he was really good all-around mechanic, as well as he did upholstery for us
Yes,
sometimes.
he did. Yes, he did. He did a lot of breaks and stuff too.
Yes, he did. He was really a good guy. I really miss him. You know, he was he's just a special kind of guy. You know.
He really was,
Uh-huh.
man.
How about one that I know that you remember that used to come in and open up the gas station and make coffee every morning? And he lived in the little apartments just down the street.
I know
a
who you're
bit.
talking about. E.F. Matthews.
Elmo F. Matthews.
Yeah, Mr. Matthews.
That guy, he was another World War II veteran that was, he was in the invasion of Anzio in Italy. And he was a character like you can't believe. Well, you remember him.
Oh,
But
yeah.
He had a zillion stories, and I can't possibly tell all of them, but one of them was that on Invasion Day, he was a sergeant in the Army, and a bunch of guys got wounded, and he gathered up all these wounded and drove them to an aid station on a Jeep. I think there was 4 or 5 or 6 guys that he took to this aid station, and he said when they got there, that Jeep had 5 flat tires. All 4 of the tires on the Jeep and the spare were shot out by shrapnel because he was doing this under fire, you know.
Wow.
And he got either the bronze or the silver star for that. I can't remember, but he was a character. He had a zillion stories. Poor guy never got a scratch in the war.
Yeah.
But when he came back, he was stationed in Alamogordo, New Mexico, and him and a bunch of his buddies went out and got drunk and ended up rolling a 40s vintage Woody station wagon. He was in the back, passed out, and he got hurt the worst.
Right.
And scrambled his brain, and he had to learn to walk and talk over again. And it's hard to understand him, but he was sharp as a tack.
And I remember, man, you know, if Dad liked you, he'd do anything in the world for you, man. And I remember Mr. Matthews coming to Christmas dinners, Thanksgiving dinners. I mean, he was a family. He was family. He really was.
He really was.
He absolutely loved my dad and your dad.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he loved our dad.
There wasn't anything he wouldn't do for us.
No joke.
He was really a special person. You know, it's a shame his family never would have hardly anything to do with him. But he had I don't know how much, but he had quite a bit of money. And when he died, I think it was his sister swooped in and took everything that he had. But
imagine that.
Yeah, he used to wear a bolo tie that was a $20 gold piece. And I used to think, man, that would have been nice to have inherited from him.
Yeah. And remember, he'd get mad. He'd take out his knife. He wanted to cut somebody.
Oh, Dad had to bail him out of jail one time.
I remember
because some guy started giving him a lot of trouble and calling him names and And I don't know if the guy was drunk or what, but old man Matthews pulled that knife out, and he cut him 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
That knife was always razor sharp, boy.
Oh, it was too. And he always smoked that pipe. Always had a
Oh,
pipe.
yeah.
Always had a pipe. So
It wasn't a very big knife, but he always said, "This knife will cut you 3 ways: wide, deep, and frequent."
and he knew what to do with it, guaranteed for
Oh
sure.
yeah, he was a combat veteran. He knew what to do.
Right. You know, Bob, I've seen pictures of course, I was little, and I can remember, and why I remember the old Ford trucks, the 55, 56, 57 Ford pickups, you know. I don't know why I remember those the most, but there was some cool cars on Dad's lot. I mean, I seen pictures where there was GTOs and different things like that, man. Can you remember some of the cool cars that he had on there?
Absolutely. I think I remember every single one. I remember being 15 years old, and Dad we had 2 4-speed cars. Would you remember our cousin David worked with us there
Yes, he
for a
did.
while?
Uh-huh.
And we used to have to bring them in at night. One of them was a 64 Ford Galaxy convertible that had a 427 V8 in it and a 4-speed. And the other one was a 67 GTO, and I believe it had a 400 and a 4-speed in it with 411 gears. And my cousin Davey and I were bringing them in one night, and he had already brought the Galaxy in. And so I'm pulling the GTO towards the side street and to bring it in, and he gives me the signal to spin the tires, you know. And I thought, well, heck yeah, I think I know how to do that. And I revved that thing up and dropped the clutch, and it went completely sideways one way, completely sideways the other way. And when I let off the gas, it had that positive traction rear end.
Right.
It went completely sideways again, almost made me hit a parked car.
Oh, man.
Man, the adrenaline was pumping. And I was hooked on power and hot cars ever since.
Can you imagine if you would have wrecked that car? He'd still be yelling at you.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
just oh my goodness! And
there were some things that is better that Dad didn't know that we did.
yes, this is true, and I have to fall right into that category too. You know, for sure.
I think you got away with more of them than I did. I think.
Well, probably so. I probably did. You know, I don't know how, but I probably did for sure. But you know, you worked through the whole time, and then Dad all of a sudden came into the wrecker business. And I mean, you were old enough to start running wreckers and stuff, and you were young when you were running the wrecker. How old were you?
Well, when I started working there, I was 13. And Dad used to always tell me, "Man, when are you going to be old enough to get your driver's license? I need you to drive some stuff for me." And eventually I got my learner's permit, you know, and then got my driver's license, and started driving cars back and forth to Denver. And then he's trained me on the wrecker. And we started out with an older Chevrolet wrecker that was, I think, about a 64.5 Chevrolet 1-ton.
Yes, it was.
And we had a wrecker body put on it. But the wrecker business was going so good that we finally, he ordered a new Dodge 1-ton cabin chassis.
Yep.
And had a custom wrecker body put on it. And do you know that the people that he sold A1 towing to still use that wrecker today?
You know, and I've been trying to find that wrecker.
That wrecker is 55 years old.
Is it?
And
have you seen it?
I haven't seen it lately, but it's still in good shape. I'm sure they've gone through an engine or two and what all else I don't know, but they still are using that wrecker.
Because
we hauled a lot of cars with that.
Yeah, I have had the Willets. Of course, that's who Dad sold the towing business to at first, right?
Yes,
it was Willett.
And then he ended up selling it to another guy. But
yes,
yeah,
and his name was Norm, I think. The guy that Willett sold it to, I think. I can't remember.
I don't remember his first name or his last, whatever. I do remember a Norm that used to work for us. In the gas
Norm
station.
Huddleston.
Yes.
Dude, how can I remember that guy's name? I don't have any idea.
I remember like it was yesterday. He was a character.
And he just lived up the street from the station. I remember that. We went
Yeah.
to his house for dinner one night, I think. And
Oh, did you?
that was the first night that Dad told me you better just behave, or that I can remember. I'm sure he told me many a time, but he's like, you better behave, or you know how he used to talk out of the side of his mouth, or you're gonna get it when we get home, you know, because I didn't want to be there. The food was terrible. I can remember the food was terrible, but it was, you know, what do you do when you're a kid? You don't want to get your butt busted for sure, you know.
Norm he liked a little of the drink, you know.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Every night he would go down to the Broadway Inn and get drunk, and his wife would come in looking for him.
We had some dandies down there. What about Red? Remember Red?
Oh, the red-headed racing rapist from Indiana.
Oh my God, he was Hercules strong. I can remember on a Sunday one time. I don't know if you called Dad or if you were working there or somebody called Dad. It was a Sunday, and they said you better get over here now.
Yeah, he came in. It was his day off, and he was drunk. And I think the customer's name was Roy Wagner. Maybe I shouldn't even say it, but this guy was kind of a deadbeat, and he wouldn't pay his bill. And this Red knew about it, and this Red Wagner came in, and he wanted to charge some gas, and he was drunk, and Red was already in this gas station just bullshitting with us, and he was drunk. And this guy wanted to charge more gas, and I said, well, I'm sorry, but I can't let you charge any more gas until you pay your bill. And he started giving me trouble and giving everybody trouble, and next thing you know, Red took him outside and just beat the tar out of him.
I remember the call. It was a Sunday afternoon. I remember that very well. And I get over there, and that boy was bleeding hard, man. He really was. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to take you to court.
Yeah, he never did, though.
No.
He knew he was in the wrong, too.
Guaranteed.
I mean, it wasn't right what happened, but
it was just drunk talk, too, no matter what.
Yeah. Yep.
And the meaner of the drunks won. I also remember a story about him when Dad bought that new Cougar that time, and he had Dad change tell that story, man. About the hubcaps.
The 70 Cougar?
Yeah.
Yeah. He twisted it had those fake mag hubcaps,
yes.
And they had fake lug nuts on them, and he twisted them off with the 4-way lug nuts. We couldn't figure out how come they wasn't coming off.
Right, exactly. He was just a typical farm kid, I think. He was way too strong for his own good.
He wasn't the brightest bulb in the string, if you know what I mean.
No, he wasn't. I'll guarantee you that right now, for sure. No, that was one of the things. We did have some, and you know, it's funny that I can remember those guys' names. I mean, like Norm Huddleston. Why would I remember his name?
How could you forget, though?
You know, that's the truth, I guess, you know.
He had a front tooth knocked out, if I recall. And he was married to a lot younger gal, but he was something else. But do you remember? Maybe you were too young, but when Dad first started the business, he had a repair shop down on South Main, kind of across the street from where the Standard Oil jobber was. You know. And didn't he have a mechanic working for him by the name of Satch?
Yes. Yeah, Satch was. He turned out to be a repo guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute.
No, that's Barrett, right?
You're thinking, and his nickname was Slice.
Slice. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
But Satch was a mechanic, and I can't remember his last name to save my life.
I know who you're talking about, though. I really do.
But now that you brought up Slice, I have to tell this quick story.
Okay.
I was at a friend's house over on the south side, waiting for him. I think we were going to go do something. I'm watching out his front window, and here comes Cecil Barrett in a tow truck. And he pulls up right in front of my buddy's house, and he lets the tow slings down. And I told my buddy, I said, you're current on all your car payments, aren't you? And he says, well, yeah. He says, why? And I said, well, because there's a repo man out front, and he's going to repo a vehicle, and I know the guy. So I went out and I talked to him. I said, hey, Slice, what are you doing? He says, you just watch. He says, I'm going to go grab this guy's car before he knows what's going on. And then he checked his to make sure he had his sidearm in place. He always carried a 45 automatic. He jumped in that truck and he pulled up and backed up underneath the front of that car and raised it up and hauled ass. The guy was barely getting out of his house and he was gone already.
Wow.
He was a character.
Oh, he was. I can remember one night he called us, and Dad was good friends with John Ballantyne because he used to haul cattle for him.
Right.
And he needed this trailer repoed. And so Dad called Ballantyne and borrowed one of the tractors, and we went out there, and I was with Dad, and he, we thought it was going to be an easy repo, and the farmer come out of the house with a shotgun, and Cecil Barrett said he used to, everybody called me Jar because of my initials, said,
right,
Jar, get up in that damn sleeper and don't you come out, and then my dad was like, yeah, that's what you got to do. So anyway, I was peeking out the little vent window on the side of the sleeper, and I looked, and Cecil Barrett just walked up and grabbed the shotgun right out of that guy's hands and punched him right in the face. I was just like, my God, this man's like a John Wayne in Pueblo, I mean, he wasn't bad. And he was just a little bulldog guy, wasn't he?
He wasn't very tall. I'd say he's maybe 5'6", but he was built like an ingot.
Oh, he was.
He probably weighed about 200 pounds, but he was all muscle. This guy was stout as hell.
Oh, he was. And mean. God, he'd fight at a drop of a hat.
He was mean. And he looked mean.
Yeah, guaranteed.
But he always was great to us. He became a deputy sheriff, I believe, in his later years.
I think I remember him out to the fairgrounds one night. We were at Coors. We were raising hell down there, and he come up to me and goes, you guys better settle down. They're watching you. Okay. We will definitely do that for sure,
Yeah.
But of course, the crew I hung around with, they didn't take heed, so they got in trouble. But
you knew better than to go against anything he told you.
Oh, shit, yeah, man. I mean, I'm sorry. And the bad thing, the worst thing, ladies and gentlemen, that was bad about my brother and I is my dad and our dad, he knew every cop in town. So if we got in trouble, it was like, okay, I'll just talk to your dad tomorrow. You're like, oh, no, just take me to jail, beat my ass, or whatever you want to do. But please don't talk to my dad, Please, And I remember more times down on Main Street, they'd take the beer or whatever and dump it out and say, hey, we're just going to tell your dad tomorrow. And whether if they did and he didn't say nothing, I don't remember getting into a lot of trouble. But I remember one time coming out of Belmont and going down 50 and then going into the curve before you got on to 25, headed south. And I went around this car in that curve in my Camaro, and it was Joe Giannetti. And I got in a little trouble on that one for sure. I did.
Well, because I'm sure he went straight to Dad.
Guaranteed, right to him and told him, So I did get it, and they were happened to be best friends, and of course Joe was the Standard Oil jobber there and stuff, and it wasn't a good thing, but hey, whatever. You just don't pay attention sometimes when you're young and dumb, right?
Yeah, that's true. The sad thing about Joe Giannetti was Dad thought he was a good friend, but he only cared about Joe Giannetti.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. And that's the bad. Dad had a lot of people that did that to him, and it was sad. It really was. But
yeah, it was. But anyway,
and then after Broadway, of course, we moved downtown, correct, to the old Dodge building.
That was in about, I want to say 1971 or 2.
Okay.
I know I had just started college, and we moved into the old Goff Dodge building.
Yep.
And that was a huge building. I think it was 3 stories.
Yep.
And he had it all sublet to, one of them was Charlie's Body Shop, and they took a big portion of all the garage part of it. And he had several other businesses that had leased it out, that he had sublet to. which was more than paying for his share of the lease.
Yeah.
And he had a 99-year lease on that building, and we were going great guns. We had a showroom floor. We were selling 3 or 4 cars a day out of there, which was phenomenal back then.
Oh, yeah.
And really going great guns. And Joe Giannetta and Tony Fortino owned the building, and they decided they wanted to sell it to the state, but Dad had that 99-year lease.
Uh-huh.
And so Tony Fortino confronted Dad, and he says, "Hey, I need you to let me out of this lease." And he told him why, that he was going to sell it to the state for millions. And Dad lost his temper, the famous Richard's temper, and let him out of the lease without any conditions. And he should have held his feet to the fire and got a few $100,000 out of him.
Oh, or more than that, because they made big money.
Yeah, they did. Made huge money.
Yeah.
And that's where they put the employment, the state employment office was in that building after they sold it to the state. So.
Right. And I remember they had a big ramp, remember, on the south side of the building that you could drive up to the top story?
Yep.
That was a big. I used to love to drive cars up and down that thing, and I wasn't even old enough, but I'd get in there and do it anyway. It didn't matter. There's a lot of things we did that we shouldn't have done.
We both started driving when we were about 12 years old. So
I can remember I was 14 and a half, maybe 15, and Dad said, "We're going to Texas," and I said, "Okay," and he goes, "Hop in that car," and I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Hop in that car." And I said, "You're shitting me." And he goes, "No, you're going to drive. You just stay in between us and we'll be fine." And I drove to Texas, man. Of course, Bob, we were 9 or 10 when we were driving on the lot. I mean, I can remember he put me in the semis and stuff and teaching me to drive the semis. That's another story we're going to get into in a minute in the semi. But, I can remember all of that. I mean, we knew more about the wreckers and stuff than the guys that ran the wreckers. I mean, it's just the way it was. We knew everything about those things.
Oh yeah, and we had good training, that's for sure.
Oh, promise you that.
And Dad instilled in us the belief that we could drive anything we put our mind to.
Guaranteed. And learn how to use your mirrors. Your mirrors were always your friend.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
I don't know if you probably heard the story about when him and Uncle Gene were just kids and they were in Florence, and they had somebody had shipped in a couple of turnipoles, those big Euclid turnipoles, on rail cars, and Dad and Uncle Gene were down there and just watching them, and nobody knew how to drive them. And Dad says, "Well, I can drive them." And they said, "Well, let's get up here and see." And he got up there and started it up and figured it out and backed it right off of that rail car. And
he was amazing.
I think that's what got him interested in heavy equipment. And driving coal trucks from the time he was 12 years old.
Yeah, John Howe, driving for old man Howe. I can remember he used to tell the story. Remember when he was going across the Portland Bridge there, and that truck got away from him, went down into the ditch.
Yeah.
Busted his ribs all up and stuff like that. Yeah, I can remember all that. And then throughout those years, John Howell was the guy that watched the parking lot at East High School.
Is that right?
Yeah, he monitored the parking lot, and if I got out of line, man, he treated me like he treated Dad. He'd chew my ass, and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I bet.
he really would. So I can remember that very well. But let's talk about the day that me and you flew with Elmer Bunker from was it Amarillo to Albuquerque, or was it Lubbock?
It was one of the two.
I think it might have been Lubbock.
I'll never forget Dad's first words. "How would you guys like to go on an airplane ride with Elmer Bunker?"
Yeah, sure, great.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And he flew us into. He had a nice airplane, 6-passenger.
It was a Doctor Killer, though.
Was it
a V-tail Bonanza?
It was a V-tail
Bonanza. Yes, it was. Right. Guaranteed.
Well, at any rate, he flew us in, and then we had to drive that. Didn't we drive was it a cab over white?
No, it was a cab over Dodge.
Cab over Dodge. Okay.
and it had a
I remember it had a-
250 Cummings in it.
Yeah, and a 13-speed Road Ranger or something.
Yeah, but it was, remember, they had all the macaroni lines plumbed wrong.
Hooked up backwards.
So everything was a bad shift. I mean, we were lucky to get it home. I never drove it because I wasn't old enough, but you drove it, and man, that thing beat us to death.
It was the first one that I had ever driven with that kind of transmission, and it took a while to get the hang of it, but yeah, we got it home just fine.
We did. But the thing that was the scariest part about it is, of course, you got to sit up front with Elmer, and I'm sitting in the back, and we're coming in. I remember we're coming into Albuquerque. To land. And all of a sudden I look, and the spring is in my lap. And Elmer's like, Towers, whatever, this is such and such or whatever. And Elmer Bunker was an auctioneer friend of my dad's. He sold cars, and he was in the big auction business and stuff. But anyway, he goes, we're going to have to circle here. We got a little problem. And this is the throttle. And the throttle comes out, and the spring and everything lands in my lap. And he's like, he reaches over. I can remember it like today. He just reached over and he goes, just hand me that spring if you would. And he said, there should be a little screw around there someplace. And I'm like, we're coming in, I'm like, oh, we're going to crash. We're dying. We're going to die, on our first airplane ride. We're going to die together. But at least two brothers are going to go at the same time. We're going to go together. But remember, he took out that, I think it was like a dime or something, and he just put that screw back in and that knob, and come right in, landed it, and everything was. He was calm and collect, boy.
Yeah, and I'm glad he was, because I probably would have been more worried if he wasn't. But
yeah, that's no shit, guaranteed.
He was a character.
But it was there was some fun times, man. I mean, I remember one time Dad calls and he says, "Hey, do you know anybody that has a lowboy?" And I said, "Boy, I don't." And I just had met Nathan and them, and I didn't really understand everything they had. They probably had one, but they did. He goes, "About a road grader." I was like, "You did what?" He'd buy stuff. He'd buy a steamship 1,000 miles from water if it'd make money. And
that's right.
Goes, you know anybody that maybe want to try to drive it? I was like, no, I don't. Not from Albuquerque to home. No, not at all. So he ended up selling it at the auction. But I mean, he'd come home with more stuff. It was always amazing the stuff he'd come home with.
Yeah, he'd venture, I guess, on just about anything if he thought it would make money. You're right.
Yeah. Remember the time he bought all the Supras?
Oh, yeah.
And he come out there and he says, "Now I want you to go and pick out one of those Supras." He says, "I want you to make a car out of it." And he says, "If you need a part off of one, just take it." He says, "We're going to sell the rest of them as loads." And I said, "Okay." So I got a blue one. And I remember this was in 1979, because in 1979, Kawasaki come out with the 754. And it was an LTD. It was black. It was gorgeous. It was the prettiest thing I ever had seen in my life. And I drove by the Kawasaki store there on 4th Street. And I whipped in there and I said, "How much is that bike?" And I can't remember the number on it. And I said, "I'll be right back." And I go to the lot, and I told Dad, I said, "We're going to sell the Supra. I don't want it no more." And he's like, "What? Why? You just got it." And I said, "Well, I found a motorcycle." And you know how he was with motorcycles, And I said,
that dog didn't hunt.
No, not at all. And I got an ass chewing that was, 15 days long. But anyway, I still sold and I bought the motorcycle. And man, that was the funnest times of my life. I mean, I remember buying that bike and thinking, my goodness, I have died and gone to heaven, and all my friends had them, and we'd travel all over with no helmets and stuff. And I remember every weekend my mom would come out and she'd say, "Your dad and I want you to get a helmet." I said, I will, and not do anything. One Saturday she come out and she had a check in her hand, and she said, "We're buying you a helmet. Now go get it." Because I wanted this black Bell Tour Star. And I said, "Okay." So I go down and I buy the helmet, and I'm riding it that day, and we all went out that night. We were all on our motorcycles, and a lady ran me off the road there in University Park, right up there where you used to live. And I wrecked, and the helmet come down and broke my collarbone, but it wore a hole in the top of the helmet and wore the chin out of the helmet, and I broke the collarbone and all that. Motorcycle was all messed up anyway. So I threw the helmet in the trash can. I know I did. And I come back in my room, and the helmet's back in the room, my bedroom. And I was like, I thought I threw this thing away. So I went out and I threw it away again. And I know I threw it away this time. And all of a sudden it was back in the room. Well, my mom was going out there and taking it out of the trash can. And she was like, this is a reminder of what helmets do. If I ever see you riding a bike without a helmet again, and to this day, if I ride a bike, I always wear a helmet, man, because that helmet saved my life.
Well, they do. They're worth their weight in gold when you're riding a motorcycle.
Guarantee. And then you buy the TM 400, the bike from hell. That was the devil's bike, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? I always wore a helmet with that thing too.
Oh, well, you had to, man.
For very good reason.
Yeah, that bike was scary fast. I'd like to have one to this day.
Yeah, they for its time, it was a powerful dirt bike.
Oh my God!
It really was.
It was very fast. I remember one day Dad was going to take me for a ride on it, and he was trying to start it. You were gone or something, and he went over. I can start that bike, and he went over, and that bike, it was pretty high compression. It
was
kicked back, and that Kickstarter hit him in the back of the calf. Oh my God! He was never so mad in his life. Needless to say, we never got it started, and he never took me for a ride.
It was you had to hold your mouth just right, and there was a knack to starting that thing. And if you didn't start it on the first kick, you were going to play hell getting it started.
Right.
But boy, I had a lot of fun with that thing. But it stomped a mud hole in me once or twice.
Oh, guaranteed, man. It was way too much bike for the suspension that it had,
Yeah, that's for sure.
Way too much bike. But, you hung around with some really cool people. I want to get back on the car stuff. I mean, we got stories that we could talk about for days. We could make a four segment show out of it. But I want to talk about like the Racing Reeves brothers and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And Lee Mosier. Yeah. And, of course, we got to tell the story about Art Brady's 66 Corvette, man.
That was, I think I just sent you did you read those messages I sent you?
I forgot all about it. I forgot to look. I'm sorry.
They just, the Barrett auction just sold a 67 Corvette Stingray with the L88 engine in it for $2 million.
Oh, man.
And Art Brady had every possible kind of hot car you can imagine on the street. He started out working for McDonald's when McDonald's sandwiches were 15 cents. And his first car that I can remember was a 64, I believe it was a Dodge or Plymouth. I want to say a Polara, but it was a factory race car.
Oh, wow.
It had a 413 Max wedge in it. It had acid-dipped bumpers and aluminum front end and radio delete with the battery in the rear. And he used to have like 10 or 12-inch slicks on it. And he would park it at the McDonald's, And he had several really fast cars. But that 66 Corvette that he had, it was a roadster, so he had the soft top and the hard top. And it had an L88 in it that somebody had put in it, because they didn't put any L88s in until 1967. But this car was immaculate. Had 488 gears and a 4-speed, and he had big, wide street tires on it, like I want to say Goodyear Polyglass, like some L series, some real wide tires. That's the fastest street car I ever drove. That thing would carry the front tires through low gear.
Oh, wow.
It was scary fast, and he had that car for I don't know, several years, and he sold it. And when he sold that car, I think he sold it for like $6,000.
Oh my God! I'll take 5 right now.
Oh, it was such a clean, nice, fast car. One of the highlights of my street driving career.
Right. Of course, you had some pretty pretty nice cars, man. I remember your little blue Chevy too, man. Or your little Nova. That car was a pretty cool car, man. My friends used to think it was a funny car, and I remember Jeff Juba. He used to say that's a funny car, ain't it? And I was like, oh yeah, my brother drives one, man. Yeah, my brother drives a funny car. But that car was. I remember you used to have to, when you come home down the street, you have to shut it off and coast to Grandma's house because Bill Long would yell at you for making too much noise.
Well, he did. Sometimes I had a bad habit. I'd bring it home and park it up. Remember when Grandma had that little pad next to the house that was right next to Bill Long's house?
Right.
I'd pull it in there and park it, and I'd rev it just a little bit to kind of clear its throat before I shut it off.
Right.
One day he came out and he says, "Hey, Bob," he says, "can I talk to you for a minute?" And I said, "Sure." And I was always really respectful to him and everything. He says, "I was just wondering, why is it you have to rev that car up every time you come home?" I said, "Oh, I didn't even think about the fact that your bedroom's right there." I said, "I'm really sorry." And I quit doing. After that, I wouldn't do it anymore.
Right.
But that was maybe one of the funnest cars I ever had.
It was quick.
Had when we first put the car together, I don't know if you know this, but Dad found that car sitting out in a farmer's field. No engine or transmission. The interior was trashed, but the body was straight. I think he bought the car for probably $25 or something like that. And then we got it, and we had the repo lot, or not the repo lot, but the wrecker lot where we stored all the towed cars. And we had I believe it was a station wagon, and I can't remember what year, but it had a 283 in it. And I think it had a 3-speed transmission. And when we first put the car together, we put that engine and transmission in it, but it wasn't long before another car came in. I had that car. I had it in that configuration for quite a while, but another car came in and had a 4-speed, so I put a 4-speed in it. And Dad took we had I want to say about a 64 or 5 GTO that had a white Naugahyde interior in it, bucket seats and a console, and we took that whole interior out of that car and took it to Larry Merton at Merton's Upholstery. And he cut it down to fit the interior of that Nova. And oh man, that was a sharp little car. We painted it Le Mans blue.
Yep.
And had that white Naugahyde interior in it, and that was back when the Naugahyde really held up and was a good quality,
Right.
But that was a fast little car. It had that. After the 283, I put a 327, 300 horsepower 327 out of I believe it was a 64 or 5 Chevelle. I put that in it and changed the console because it had a console that I liked better, and we changed the camshaft, put a 350 horsepower camshaft in it, that 327, and man, it ran like a scalded dog then.
Yeah, it did, man. I can remember that car. And didn't you build that motor over at Tex Coakley's shop on that one?
Not that one. The one I built over at Tex Coakley's was the 67 Nova station wagon that was
a bad boy right there.
I wish, of all the cars I had, I wish I had that one back the worst.
You still got the motor though, don't you?
I do. I got it's an LT1 350, and I got that motor. I've still got I had a 283 in it before that Tony Martinet built for me. It's all balanced and blueprinted. It's 80 over, which I think makes it about a 301 or something like that.
Wow.
And I still got that motor. It's only got about 20,000 miles on it. And got those just waiting to go in something else. I guess I better get busy and put it in something.
Right. I remember we were coming back from what is that, Fin and Feather out there in Stipp Beach, remember? And we were going down the road, and we were just really going fast, and that state patrol tried to turn around and to catch us, and you're like, Jar, hang on, man, we're going for it, man. And I could just remember going, damn, this car's fast. I remember that big time. Yeah, that car was fun.
It didn't have low gears. It had I think a 308 rear end in it, and a turbo 400 behind that LT1. And that thing, when it would shift from second to third at about the same time that the speedometer would drop below the the dash level past 120.
Yes, sir.
And
Guaranteed.
that Turbo 400 had low enough low gear that it had a pretty good low range too.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a lot of fun. What a sleeper!
Yeah, it was, and it was Emron Gold. I remember that, right?
Yeah, Emron Gold was a black interior.
Yeah.
But the full story on that car, I don't know if you ever knew. I went with that up to Burt Chevrolet and to buy trade-in cars for the car lot. And we're up there, and I can't remember what year that was, but it was right after I got out of graduate school, so it must have been 1975. And he went and talked to the used car manager, and I can't recall his name, but he was a good friend of Dad's. And Dad told him, he says, "Hey, I'm looking for a car for my son here. He's doesn't have much money, but he needs to buy something dependable and good shape." And he says, "Well, how much money you got to spend?" He says, "Oh, about $500." So I said, "Well, I just took this trade in. Would you mind a station wagon?" And I said, "Oh, heck no, not if it's in good shape." And this car was an estate car. And I don't know whose estate it was from, but it was a Radio Delete 6-cylinder automatic, and it was gold with a black interior, and it was immaculate. Not a scratch on the car. Of course, it didn't stay stock for long after I got my hands on it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a really a find. I wish like hell I still had that car.
Hey, why don't you hang on just for a second? I got to pay a couple of bills right fast. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to my brother Bob. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal. Hey, lug nuts. Need pick me up to start your day? Then it's time to go to Rise and Grind. At Rise and Grind Coffee in Parker, Colorado, you'll find everything from bold espressos to creamy lattes to refreshing chai teas and smoothies. Whether you love it regular or decaf, we've got the perfect cup waiting for you. Hungry? Grab a hot breakfast burrito and a fresh muffin to go with your drink. And don't forget to check in on our merchandise. Perfect gift for any coffee lover. Planning on an event? Rise and Grind brings coffee to you with our family-equipped portable coffee trailer. Perfect for weddings, meetings, celebrations of any kind. Stop by at 475 Singing Hills Road in Parker or give us a call at 480-212-3787. That's 480-212-3787. Rise and Grind Coffee, fueling your day one cup at a time. Hey, lug nuts, take a look at our new partner, 6ix9ine Graphics and Design, a small design and marketing company big on personalized service. They work close with you to get your business noticed with graphics that stand out and get attention. 6ix9ine Design focuses on stickers, decals, and graphics for your hot rods, custom projects, or business marketing. 6ix9ine Design also includes logo design, brochures, signs, business cards, banners, custom apparel, vehicle graphics, and much more. Remember, that's 6 and the number 9 Graphics and Design. Or go to 6ix9design.com or find them on Instagram at 6ix9 Design. All right, guys, we're back. We had to pay a couple bills right fast, and sitting here talking to my brother Bob. And I told you, dude, it's 8:08, man. We've almost been on an hour, and an hour goes fast,
Yes, it does.
It goes really fast, man. It really does.
We may have to have some further sessions if people like hearing this sort of thing, because, my goodness, we got a lot of stories to tell.
Oh, my goodness, we have a bunch. We do. We do. I don't know if you ever know it, but you and my grandpa were probably the biggest influencers of me being in the hot rod business, or in hot rods, because grandpa had the Corvette and stuff like that, but you always had the real cool hot rods and stuff. But the day that it really sunk in my mind is when we went up there to watch Wayne McMurtry at CDR. I think it was Wayne.
Yes.
And the Super Chief Funny Car was up there.
Oh, yeah.
And I can remember, in fact, I'm looking at the model right now, right here in my studio, and it is the Super Chief, and it was the one that was there that day. and I found it. I did a show over in Grand Junction a few years back, and we did a display with the monster truck at a hobby store, and I was walking through the hobby store, and I told the guy, I said, "Do you have any old models?" I said, "I'm looking for some old models," and he said, "Yeah, we got some old ones." He said, "Come in the back," and I went back there. That was the first thing that jumped at me was the Super Chief. And I said, "You got to be shitting me." I didn't really believe. And next time you're here, I'll show it to you. But I said,
Yeah.
I don't believe that you have the car that got me started into drag racing. And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I seen that car when I was a young kid at CDR." He goes, "You went to CDR?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Continental Divide Raceway." I said, "Yeah, I went there with my brother. He took me and my dad up there one day, and the Super Chief was there." And I said, "I'd never seen a car like that before in my life," and I was hooked, and I still am today. And you were just a big influence on doing that for me, man. And now my addiction is crazy. And thank you very much. So I'll get you a bill. I'll present you a bill here real soon. I'll tell you what. I'll present it to Susie, and then she'll pay it. I know she will.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of good memories from Continental Divide Raceways.
Oh man.
Wayne McMurtry, I don't know if you remember, but he was a national record holder in A-fuel dragsters.
Right.
He had that small block Chevy that was fuel injected, but it ran on nitromethane.
Uh-huh.
And Dennis Reeves and I and Randy Reeves, they lived right around the corner from him. And that's how I got to know him, because I was friends with Dennis and Randy. And we started working on his pit crew for him.
I remember that.
So, we had a lot of good times up there, and I can't begin to tell you what an influence that was on me. But he built an engine for Dennis Reeves that was pretty much the same engine he had in his dragster, only it was carbureted instead of fuel injected, and of course ran on gasoline instead of nitromethane. But that was, you talk about a fast car. We put that in that 57 Chevy of his, and if I remember right, he had a 456 positive traction rear end and a M21 Muncie 4-speed or M22, whichever it was. And we never lost a street race with it. And we raced some big cars, 455 Buicks, 428 Cobra Jet Mustangs. Nothing could touch it. And Dennis used to, the first time we took it for a test drive with the 4-speed in it, Dennis was driving it and he's shifting like an old grandma, and I said, "You mind if I drive it?" And he says, "No, go ahead." So we took it out, found a straight, not abandoned, but straight, no traffic street, and I got in that thing and dropped the hammer and power shifted it through all 4 gears. And I said, "Well, I guess it'll hold up." And I looked over at him. His eyes were the size of dinner plates. He says, "Man," he says, "from now on, you get to drive this whenever we race." And I said, "Okay."
Twist my arm.
And I don't tell that story very often, but I had told my daughter Tawny that story. And a couple of years ago, we went to the Street Rod Nationals, and I took Tawny with me, and we ran into Dennis and his brother, and from the old days, and Dennis told her the story verbatim what I had told her, which was kind of cool that he had, of course, I imagine he won't ever forget that day.
No, man, not at all.
I know I won't forget any one of those races. And we used to go out every Friday night. We'd get together and pool our money, and we might end up with $10 or $15 between us, and we'd put $10 worth of gas in the car, premium gas, and spike it with a quart of acetone to get the octane up there.
Right.
And then whatever money we had left, we'd go buy a case of quarts of Metz beer.
Metz.
I think back then you could buy a case of quarts, 12 quarts of Metz for like $2.38.
Oh man.
It wasn't the best, but
hey, it was beer, right?
And Walters Brewery made it, and Walters bottled under a bunch of different labels, but Metz was down towards the bottom end, I think.
It was like the leftovers of the keg, whatever's at the bottom. They just strained it heavily.
It still worked though.
Oh, guaranteed.
But we'd go out every Friday night street racing, looking for races and stuff, and you'd be surprised the places that we used to race. One of them was on College Road from the west side of the bridge that crosses the Fountain River to the overpass of Bonfort was a quarter mile exactly. And so we used to go out there quite often because it was pretty abandoned, or, pretty sparse traffic.
Right.
And we'd race there, and we had a ball.
Just the things we got, the lucky things, we were so lucky to get away with stuff that we got away with, and how we didn't get hurt really bad and some stuff, is just beyond me, to be honest with you.
Well, of course, back in those days, there wasn't nearly as many people as there is now, for one thing.
That's true.
And it wasn't like we were out, doing drive-by shootings or something. We were, out having fun, and that was a lot different back then. You're right.
Guaranteed. And the cars were fun, though. The cars were really fun. I remember you had your, I don't know, I guess it would have been your little blue Chevy. Uncle Larry didn't he have a Cougar Eliminator?
He did, but before that, he had a 56 Chevy two-door hardtop. And he had chrome reverse wheels on it. It was painted Le Mans blue. And he had the biggest tires that Goodyear made. I think they were wide ovals at the time. The biggest ones he could fit into the wheel wells. And that was a cool car. He used to let me borrow it when he was working at the print shop. I'd go down there on my bike, and he'd let me borrow it to go pick up Terry Anderson from school, and I'd take her out driving around in that thing. Oh, I was in teen heaven.
I bet you so, man.
But he had a couple of those Cougar Eliminators, and those were some badass cars back in the day.
Oh, they were, man. But that one got away from him. He got hurt in it. I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah. He's lucky he didn't get killed.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, Uncle Gene, not Gene Jr., he had that damn javelin. Remember we were out shooting that night and and he lost control of it on Overton Road and flipped that thing upside down in that ditch. And I looked around behind me, and that shotgun was pointed right at my head, man. That was wild. I can remember him saying, just crawl over the top of me and get out of here. Crawl over the top and run after you get out. And I did. I mean, I crawled over the top of him and went out the window, and I didn't know if I didn't know if the car was going to blow up or whatever, but he wasn't capable of handling any of those cars.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah, well, we won't talk. Yeah, we won't talk about him much more because it's not good to speak ill of the dead.
No, that's the truth. That is the truth. But no. And then what was the guy's name that lived or that had the shop that had the Mustang up from the Union 635 South Union car lot? He had a Mustang. It was and it always sat you could see it in the window, and it was red, and it was a Mach 1, but it was a drag car, and you were friends with him.
Jeez, I'm trying to place that.
It would have been, as you're going, if you would have taken and went in front of the car lot and just stayed to the right, it was right up there after, because remember that it was the big stairs going up to the hill to the top up there behind the shop.
Right.
And there was that big vacant lot. And it was in one of those next buildings right there.
Jeez, I can't. What year was that? Do you remember?
Bob, that had to have been, let's see. That probably was 77 maybe? 78. Okay. But I remember he raced it because he used to race out at PMI all the time. But I know you were friends with him because we went up there a couple times.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, to be honest.
Yeah, that was another cool. But you had all the hookups, man. You knew all the cool guys that had all the cool cars, and it was just fun, man. It really was.
You mentioned Lee Mosier earlier. I hate to say I haven't spoken with him since COVID hit.
Really?
Lee lost his hearing. He was in the Marine Corps, and he was an artilleryman, and he lost his hearing between that and working in the cranes at CFNI.
Right.
He's just pretty much deaf. And the sad thing is, he can't read lips, and it's tough. Even if you're face to face, it's hard to talk. And if you call him on the phone, there's interference in his hearing aids, and he can't talk. And I don't know, we just kind of, after COVID, just kind of drifted apart, and I haven't talked to him in a long time. I need to go see him.
Yeah. He had a fast car.
He had a lot of fast cars in his day.
Yes, he did.
But he's a
They were all
Ford guy.
Fords. Yeah, all Fords.
He was a dyed-in-the-wool Ford guy. And, this is a story you haven't heard, but he had 2 kids, and his oldest one's a daughter. And she married a guy that was a banker and had some bucks. Well, Lee had saved a motor out of his race car, which was a 427 side oiler. And he had put that in a 67 Ford Fairlane, which I think he still has, the car. But anyway, he had that motor, and it was a killer motor. And he talked this son-in-law of his into funding a project, and they built a Cobra kit car. And he put that 427 in it. First time the guy took it out to Pueblo Motorsports Park, he launched from the start, and when he hit second gear, he lost control of the car and spun it out. And he didn't get hurt, and nothing got damaged, but they banned him from the racetrack.
Did they really?
Yeah, it was way too much car for him.
Yeah. There's just some people that just can't handle that kind of stuff, man.
Oh, I know.
Just really was.
I drove that 67 Ford Fairlane that Lee and I and Art Brady built that car. And another guy, friend of Lee's, and his name escapes me right now. But anyway, we took it up to Bandimere one time and raced it. And he let me drive it on the racetrack there. And that was a fast car. I think he had 514 gears in it and slicks. And, it was an A stock at the time. And he was just getting started. It wasn't as fast as it could have been, but it was still scary fast,
Right.
Yeah, a lot of fun to drive those cars.
Well, I know we've been on here. Okay, it's just been over. It's exactly 10 minutes past the time I called. No, really 5 minutes past the time I called you. But I don't know if you know, but I don't know where I got the talent, but I write lyrics to songs. And I
know you do.
I have an AI program that makes these songs into music. So I wrote a song about Dad's car lot, and if this will give you a chance to take a break from it, if you need to go up and use a facility or whatever, we'll play this, and then we'll be right back. And then I want to talk about the wrecker. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I have many stories, but I know the one you want to talk about.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll be back here in just a minute. This song here is about my dad's car lot. And we all grew up in this car lot deal. And my brother Bob went on to work at CFNI, and I was in the business with him. And then I got married, and he come to me one day and said, "Hey, guys, this car lot is not going to be able to afford both of us. You're going to have to do something else. And I have a job for you in Amarillo if you want to take it." So I took the job, went down to Amarillo for 9 years. And through the years, the car lot did okay, but then it started kind of going down and stuff. And this is just kind of the history of me going to Amarillo, and then one day me coming to the car lot to close it down.
Dad started that little car lot in that Steel City town. He taught me more than wrenches and wheels. He taught me how to live, how to work, and how to dream. I didn't always follow his path, but I never forgot where it started. In that Steel City town, my old man's dream was turning steel and chrome into gasoline gleam. He built a name with a wrench in hand. Said, "Son, this shop will make you a man."
But I had diesel dreams and dirt to move, running heavy iron like my old man used to. Now the echoes of that old garage still call my name. Oil stained floors and that worn out sign still look the same. He taught me how to stand tall, how to see things through. Turns out he taught me more than I ever knew. When times got tough and the bills got high, he said, son, go make your own way under that Amarillo sky. 9 years gone by under that Texas sun, building a life with my wife and raising 3 sons. But back home the business faded slow, and I could see time catching up with the man I know. Now the echoes of that old garage still call my name. Oil stained floors and that worn out sign still look the same. He taught me how to stand tall, how to see things through. Turns out he taught me more than I ever knew. Then one day that phone call came, the shop went dark and nothing's been the same. They locked the doors, turned out the lights, and I cried for that man who gave me my drive. Now I'm calling bids under Denver lights, selling dreams made of chrome and white. Monster trucks and classic rides, still hear his voice when I grab that mic. He's gone but he's still right here, and every engine roar I hear. Build me a 73 C10, red, white and blue. Every bolt and line reminds me of you. At every show I park it proud, feels like he's riding right there in the crowd. Yeah, this boy still got that love so true, and Dad, I'll always ride for you. Yeah, the echoes of that old garage still call my name. Oil stained floors and that worn out sign still look the same. He taught me how to work hard, how to see things through, and I'm still learning from the man I never outgrew. Turns out he taught me more than I ever knew. Yeah, turns out he taught me more than I ever knew.
All right, guys, we're back. We're back right here on another episode of Pedal to the Metal, talking to my brother Bob. And now we're going to talk about wreckers and buildings and fire hydrants. And
Well, I like that song.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. I'll set you up. I set you up anyway, so now the story is yours to tell.
Okay. Well, do you remember the beat cop that used to walk around the beat by the name of Art Hudgens?
Big Art Hudgens drove my head right into the tire rack at 131 Broadway when I was a little kid, because he picked me up and threw me in the air underneath the tire rack. Yes, I do.
He was a big, mean guy.
Mean guy.
Towards the end of his career, I don't know if he had done something to make somebody mad or what, but they put him on a beat on Union Avenue, and I was changing the transmission in my 64 Nova, and I was just getting ready to put it in, and he walks up, and he's talking to me while I'm laying underneath the car with the transmission on my chest. And that 70 Dodge wrecker that we had, I was on call with the wrecker, and I had it parked up there with the brake on and everything, and I thought it was in gear. But if you recall, it had a bad habit of jumping out of gear, and we'd had an incident, I don't know, a few months earlier, where Dennis Reeves was driving it across the street. He had pulled backed the car into The transmission shop.
Bob Brace. Bob Brace. Yeah.
Transmission shop. And across the parking lot downhill was a parts house.
Yep.
And he had parked it, left it running in neutral with the brake on. That thing, the brake jumped off and it rolled through the front of that parts.
I remember that.
Parts house.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad was furious about that. Well, supposedly they had fixed that brake. Well, they hadn't fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it parked next to my car, and it was I know the brake was on, and I was just getting ready to put that transmission in, and I was in fact in the act of stabbing it in, and I heard the gravel crunch, and I look out, and that wrecker is rolling, and I said, Art, grab that wrecker, it's rolling away. And for whatever reason, he was unable to get to it and stop it. So I came out from underneath that car, got the transmission off my chest, came out from underneath the car, and took off running after it. That thing rolled down a hill towards Union Avenue, and it's late at night, so there's very little traffic.
Right.
But it was headed right for a telephone pole on the close side of the street. And I thought, well, at least it'll hit that and it'll stop. It won't hit anybody in a car. I'll be darned if that truck didn't steer itself right around that telephone pole, cross the street, and I caught up with it about the middle of the street and jumped on the running board just as it hit a fire hydrant on the other side of the street. Oh, my word. I couldn't believe it. I've got it stopped. But for some reason, luckily, it didn't spew water. So I got it back up in the yard, put a big dent in the front of the bumper. But what I didn't realize is it threw the front end out of alignment, and I had to drive it all weekend long, and I can't remember, but I think Dad was gone somewhere. And I had a bunch of record calls, and by the time Monday morning rolled around, it had worn out both front tires on that truck. God. And Dad was furious. Oh, he was pissed.
And he could go from nice to pissed off in 5.2 seconds. Of course, I do the same thing. So, and I'm sure you do. It's just that Richard temper, you know. Oh my God, that's I can remember that story and hearing about it. I can't believe that kid wrecked that truck. I was like, Dad, I don't believe he did it on purpose. You know, I don't think he was just. I'm going to let the truck run into that pole. You know, I mean to that fire hydrant. You know, but everything was. I mean, I can remember one day I was working at the car lot and he brought this 2.5 ton cabin chassis because our dad was. He would buy anything, and he would buy a semi, he would buy grain trucks, he would buy cabin chassis, big 2.5 ton trucks, and he had this one come back, and I can remember it was green, it was a Ford, and I was bringing it into the shop to clean the motor and stuff on it, and I brought it in, and it just come out of the paint shop, and I had both doors open on it, and I had the hood up on it, and I got up there and I was spraying engine degreaser, and I leaned on it, and I forgot to put it in gear and put the brake on it, and it rolled back, and I was trying to stop it, and nobody was there, it was just me, and I was trying to stop it, and those doors caught the garage and bent them clear back to the front fenders, both doors. And I was just like, I didn't know whether to just pack my bags, go run away, join the army or whatever, because I didn't want to hear it. I did not want to hear it. And I called him on the phone, and I can remember the phone call. I said, Dad, I said I did something really stupid. And he goes, what happened? And I said, you know that new 2.5 ton we just got out of the body shop? He said, yeah. I said, well, it's got to go back. He goes, what the hell? Well, and I'm just being the kind words. The kind words. What in the hell did you do to the truck? I said, well, I was cleaning the engine, and I left the doors open, and it rolled back and folded both doors back into the front fenders.
Better you than me.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was my wrecker story, you know. I guess. So I don't know. Maybe we were the reasons why he drank a little bit, huh?
Well, we didn't help any in that respect. I'm sure.
No, I guess not. Not at all, man. But Bob, I tell you what, man. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to tell a quick story about.
All right.
You know, he didn't always lose his temper, and he was pretty good to us.
Yes,
over
he was.
the years.
Guaranteed.
I can remember one night I don't know if you remember that '78 Buick LeSabre that
The black one.
it had. Yeah, the black one. It had been Dad's car.
Uh-huh.
Had a black with a red velour interior and a padded vinyl top. Had a 403 motor in it. It was a pimp mobile, but that was one of the nicest cars I ever owned.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, long story short, I don't know if you remember Judy Parker that I used to date.
I think I do. I
used to call her Radar Red.
Okay,
She was
there you go. I remember her now.
strawberry blonde with green eyes. She was really a pretty girl.
Uh-huh.
But we were coming back from, I think we're coming back from the Minnequaw Club. And it was late at night, and I was going down, I want to say it was Lakeview. And this old Radar was kissing me on the neck and kind of distracted me, and I hit a curb and I blew out 2 tires. And I thought, oh, man, one tire, fine. You change it, put the spare, you're fine, But 2, no way. So I had to call Dad, and man, I hated to call him. But I called him, and he came right, and wasn't mad or anything. I thought, okay, who is this? And
Yeah, this is
what'd you
not-
do with my dad?
Yeah, this is not Bob Richards that I know anyway.
Maybe it's because I had a pretty girl there that he didn't want to lose his temper.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the truth, man. I sure do miss him, but I really do. He was a great man, guaranteed.
Not a day goes by that I don't think about him and all the things he taught us.
Oh, guaranteed, man, guaranteed. He taught us everything we know today, and that was a lot.
He installed a good work ethic in us. That's for sure.
Oh, I'll guarantee you that right now. And I try to do that to my 3 boys, and I got one that learned it, and the other 2, no. So, and then your daughter, she's a hard worker, man. Tawny, that little girl, she's and she's doing a fantastic job, and I'm so proud of her. I really am, and you'll be able to tell her she can listen to this on YouTube.
I will
go to YouTube, and I'll have it put up. I'll put it up tomorrow. I usually let it sit overnight, and then it makes sure it's all downloaded, and then I'll download it and put it up on YouTube, so she can go to YouTube, and all she has to do is just type in "Pedal to the Metal," and
there you go.
It'll have. I'll name it the show after you, so she'll be able to see it in here.
Okay.
So
I think we're probably going to have to do a couple more shows, don't you think?
Oh, dude, if everybody liked it, I think so, man. I enjoy it. So, we talk, but we don't get a chance to sit down and talk a lot, and like this it's 8:37, so we've been on an hour and almost 20 minutes, so that's pretty fast and pretty long, and it worked out really good, man. I really enjoyed it tonight, and I really appreciate you calling in.
Well, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share some of these stories.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a big part of my life, and I sure hope other people enjoy them too.
Well, I think they do. I mean, they want to know. They want to know. That's what the whole show's based on, is behind the scenes of what people do. I mean, if like last weekend I had Amber Skywalker on, and it was all the behind the scenes stuff of the monster truck business that she was doing and stuff,
Uh-huh.
So it was got Kathy Musso's on here tonight. Hello, Kathy, how are you? And Kathy said it was fun listening. But that's what it's always been about on any of my shows, is the behind. I think that's more fun. You get to know.
Absolutely.
You get to know the person, of how they grew up and how it's made us who we are today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Jeff, for putting me on, and I'll be glad to do another one anytime you want to.
All right, bro. I love you very much, man. And if you want to hang on for a second, we're going to play the old Speed Shop. I made it after Performance Associates Jay, and then we'll be back here Sunday, guys, and we'll be talking to Taylor Delaney from the Monster X Tour, and then we've got a bunch of other stuff going on. So I'll come back and tell you a little bit more here in just a minute. This is Roller and my brother Bob, and we're listening to Pedal to the Metal, and the song is called That Old Speed Shop.
Awesome.
I was 16, sweeping floors for a little pay at that old speed shop down on Highway 8. Chrome bumper shining, smell of gasoline. Those old boys boys taught me more than any school had ever dreamed when that speed shop first opened up the doors. Lead sleds and 32 deuce coupes rolled across the floor. T-bucket roadsters and Hildebrand parts. Lakeside pipes softened Hauser hearts. Then came the GTOs, Camaros, and Stangs. Road runners rumbling, the streets all sang. Now it's tuned by computer, ordered by mail. The sound and the rumble are gone, what a tale. Now that old speed shop's a memory on a map, replaced by condos and some online apps. Ain't no counter talk or grease-stained hands, just shipping times and checkout plans. Yeah, I miss the days when a man could stop and find a little magic in that old speed shop. Those guys behind the counter, they were wrenches through and through. They knew every bolt and gasket, what worked and what blew. Didn't need no laptop telling them what's wrong. They'd walk back, grab the part, and you'd be fixed before long. Now that old speed shop's a ghost in my mind, where knowledge came from years and time. Now it's all click, ship, and hope it fits. No handshake deals or greasy wits. Yeah, I miss the days when a man could stop and talk horsepower dreams. And that old speed shop. Sometimes I drive by where that old place stood, close my eyes and smell the rubber and wood, hear the laughter, the stories, the engines roar. Wish I could walk through that glass door once more. Now it's cardboard boxes on a porch at dawn, but the heart of that shop still keeps rolling on. And every car I build, every bolt I drop, lives a piece of that soul from that old speed shop. Just a kid when my dreams got lit by the spark of a socket and the smell of grit. Times have changed, but I can't stop thinking about my life. And that old speed shop.
Yeah, and that old speed shop in Pueblo was Performance Associates to us, man, and what a great place it was. PAJ, can I help you? But no, man, it was fun. So, Bob, thank you very much for being on the show. You give my love to Susie and Tawny and everybody, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, brother. The pleasure was all mine, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, we're going to play a few more songs here, and then we'll get ready to call it a night. Remember, I got a 60-day hiatus on the new Pedal to the Metal page, okay? We're not going to be able to do that for 60 days. So I've got the followers. I just don't have the 60 days under my belt. So why that is, I have no idea, but hey, what do you do, man? There's you got to abide by their rules, and if you don't, then you don't play in their ballpark, and that's all there is to it. So we'll go ahead and do a couple more songs here, and then we'll call it quits for the night. And just remember, we will be tuning in to Taylor Delaney, and that will be on Sunday, and we'll be talking to him about his monster truck career and all the way up into his his time with Monster X Tour right now, where we started working together. So this next song is called King of the Clay Strip. It's about a young man that inherited his grandpa's famous race car. This car was a well-known race car, never lost, and the young man owns the car, but the car just sits because he doesn't have the money to fix it up. But he knows that he has to do it because of the history of the car. So this is called King of the Clay Strip. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal.
Granddaddy's key in my shaking hand, rust on the chrome, dust on the land. She don't crank easy, she don't shine bright, but I hear her breathing in the pale moonlight. Ain't got a dollar, pockets full of air, bills on the table, prayers in a chair. When I touch that wheel, I understand this car still got heart, just like that man. She was the king of the clay strip back in the day. Thunder in a pipe made the fast boys pray. Trophies on the shelf, scars on her frame. She don't need money, she remembers her name. Yeah, she's broke down now, but she ain't done. That 62 Chevy still hungry to run. Oh, yeah. Oh, she raised the best, the kings of the land. Chrome Ridge boy with a money man plan. They lined up proud, thought they'd make a bow. She put them down easy, no problem now. Wasn't much of a race, wasn't close, wasn't fair. By a half-track gone, she was already there. Didn't just win, didn't squeak by a boast. Granddaddy Chevy was a true blue beast. She was a king of the clay strip, crowned in smoke, left grown men quiet, left engine broke. Gold cup shining under county fair lights, every win earned in a Saturday night. Yeah, she's tired and rough, but she ain't done. That 62 Chevy still hungry to run. Hey! Tell stories money can't buy. White numbers, black ties, fire in her eye. Mississippi nights with the crowd packed tight. When that bubble top launched, it erased the light. I got grease on my hands, hoping my chest one blow at a time. I'm doing my best. Same dirt floor, same stubborn plan, same kind of faith my granddad had. Ain't about the money, ain't about the shine. It's blood and steel and borrowed time. She don't brag loud, she don't scream or boast. Real beast went quiet, then leave her ghost. She was a king of the Mississippi Strip, meanest soul ever wrapped in steel and grip. They may forgot her, but I never will. Legends don't die, they just sit still. When she rolls again on the southern sun, that 62 Chevy gon' remind them who won. Yeah, true bass. Pure heart, Mississippi, remember. True bass, pure heart.
go. King of the Clay Strip right there. Hey, guys, we're opening up Wednesdays to AI creators. If you know an AI creator of music and or you are an AI creator of music and you would like to have your songs played on the show, we're going to start a show, and it's not going to be every Wednesday, so we're still keeping the pedal to the metal theme and all that, but we're giving the AI music creators a chance to have a platform to talk about their songs, to play their music, and it's kind of based on a music show that I had at Castle Rock Radio. So if you know anybody that writes music and they want to be on the show, all you got to do is give them my email address. That's COL Jeff Richards. No, I'm sorry, that's my old address. So it's Jeff Richards 327 at gmail.com. That's Jeff Richards 327 at gmail.com. Even an indie artist. We'd listed some indie artists. If you know anybody that's an inspiring and has a good sound, and there has to be radio friendly and no vulgarity language or anything like that, but we will play their songs, we'll talk to them, and I'm even going to call some of the people that I had on my show back in Castle Rock Radio days and have them on the show, and we'll talk to them and see how they are with their futures and stuff like that. I know that I have depleted my list of I haven't played this yet, so that's the reason why I thought, well, hey, we might as well try to open this up. And plus, a gentleman by the name of Boggin Racer has been on my show a couple times, and he is really kind of telling me how to take this show to the next level, because he is just amazing at what he does. And we spent 4 hours the other day on the phone, and he directed me on this page and what to do and things I should do. So I'm glad that I have people like this in my wheelhouse now that can help me get these numbers up and make you guys' show even better. So I can tell you that I am working on a song that was made after a group of guys that I hung out with in high school. We had a club called Circle Promotions, and I'm making a song about that. And then I've got a couple others in my wheelhouse, Small Town Famous and stuff like that. So we'll be coming out with some more songs, or I will be. But man, just playing for an hour every night goes through them, and there's nothing worse than repetition. I hate to have God, we just heard that one last week, or God, we just heard that one Wednesday. I'm trying to do it all here, but I can only write so much. So well, that's what we're going to do, and it's going to be a good time. And yes, Debbie, Bob sure is good with things like that. Larry was a great guy, and I'm glad he was there for you to help you through all that. And I'm so glad that you're on here every week, Debbie. Thank you very much. It means a lot that you're supporting me and buying the CDs and stuff like that. And I guess that's what family does. So we're going to have to get together soon and try to figure out how we can all see each other for sure. So this next song here, let's see, it's 8:52. I'll play this one and then we'll get out of here. This is called Two Steppin' on a Honky Tonk Saturday Night. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal.
Been working all week just for the weekend, punching clocks, counting down the time. Me and the boys, yeah, we're all leaning toward a jukebox and a neon sign. The girls will be there looking sharp and dressed just right. New outfits glowing under neon light, looking for a belt buckle they can make shine bright on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Screen door swings and the smoke rolls in, bar stools scrape on a hardwood floor. You can feel that buzz right under your skin like you've been here 1,000 times before. Yeah, we're two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Band fires up, man, it's feeling just right. Cold beer clinking under sawdust lights, hearts beating time to a fiddle tight. Laughs get loud, worries fade out of sight. Every wrong feels a little more right. Yeah, we're two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Band hits the stage, drummer counts it down. Steel guitar starts crying sweet. Boot heels thump as the floor goes round, spinning circles down to the beat. Strangers smile like they've been friends for years. Hands in the air, not a care nowhere. Every song sounds better when you're right here. And the night's still young, yeah, the coast is clear. Bartender grins, pours another round. Someone laughs at an old inside joke. That little red dress is spinning me around. Under them lights and a little bit of smoke, yeah, we're two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Neon humming like it's holding us tight. Long week gone by, the second chorus hits. Yeah, this is as good as it gets. Hands held close, boots moving just right. Every dream feels with inside. Yeah, we're two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Ain't nobody checking clocks anymore. Ain't nobody thinking about Monday blues. If there's heaven hid behind a screen door, it probably sounds just like this tune. Fiddle screams, crowd yells one more song. Sweat on the wall, but we don't mind. Hold her close while the night rolls on, trying to slow down time. Yeah, we're two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Band still playing like it's the last light. Boots worn down, but the spirit's high. Moon hanging low in a Texas sky. If tomorrow comes, it can wait outside. 'Cause right now, man, we're doing it right. Yeah, we're two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Door swings shut, but the memory's tight. Still humming that song in the morning light. Yeah, me and the boys will be talking about that honky-tonk Saturday night.
Two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Hey, guys, it's been a pleasure being on the show with you guys tonight. I love talking to my brother Bob, and we'll have him back on again, who got some great stories, and thank you for hanging out with us. We look forward to Sunday's show, and Kathy Musso, I will try to have the circle song done before Sunday. If I do, I'll definitely let you know. So, Cousin Debbie, thank you. Carter, thank you. Everybody else that tuned in, thank you so much. We'll see you on Sunday at 6 o'clock. Have a good night, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Pedal to the Metal. I want to send out a huge thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in and supporting the show. I also want to thank all of our amazing sponsors. You're the ones that help keep the wheels turning, and we truly appreciate you. Be sure to join us every Wednesday and Sunday. We kick things off with music at 6 p.m. each night, and the full show starts at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Until next time, keep the pedal down, heads high, and we'll see you at the next show.